it's me, Raquel SSG, and we have Chris Knight, Maura Kitty, and Anti-Editive Jill. Meow meow! I'm
Yeah.
sorry about that. I did start the stream, but something went wrong, so I have to start a new one. But anyway, we're here!
Hello, old man bird. And meow, lemon pie.
Hey, Ahmed Bird! That was quick. Yeah, I bungled the last one. Hey, I fruitcakes. The last stream was bunged and bungled. Yep, it was. Whoops.
It
Um,
happens.
it happens. Yep. But yeah, how's everyone doing this evening?
Well, my back, like right here, is really giving me fits. And I'm sorry. That was a rhetorical question. I'm doing great. No, I'm just kidding.
Hope you're not
Anytime-
in pain.
If I am obnoxious, it's just who I am. So just tell me to shut up. I'm used to it.
Aw, by who? Oh.
Don't name names. Don't name names.
I didn't. I thought them.
Well, I've never told you to shut up.
No, you
No.
have not.
Even when you're like, spamming other people's group chats with them, you're going live and stuff like, hey,
Everybody says this. I've been putting it in the right spot.
I don't mind.
No, but people got worked up as fuck about that.
Well, it's several times they have, and
I know. I was like,
You know what I do? I read the first one, and then the other five ones. I just click,
Well-
click, read.
so
That's it.
if people pay attention now, not on Discord, I'm just trying to get back to doing Discord stuff again, but I do it
Right.
like when I go live normally. Sometimes I do. So I'll do one like, let's say I have a stream at 9:00 and I get
Right.
home at 4:30.
Hey,
I'll try to pop one on there at 4:30, and then I'll tweet again 30 minutes before, and then when I go live. And some people are like, "Why do you do that?" I'm like, well, that's YouTube does it. I should be able to do it. I mean, I don't know. Night Breeze,
Hey,
long time no
what's up?
see.
It's been a very long
Well,
while.
for me, it's definitely been.
Yeah.
He's probably wondering where Name That Tune is. It's coming soon.
Well, let me get this straight, like Chris. You
Mhm.
haven't been able to stream on your computer for 2 years.
Yeah. So I could stream normally off my phone. So normally Bluetooth and on my phone. And so of course cameras on phones aren't that great.
Right?
So, and I can't do any of this stuff. And I had the computer or some of the stuff done. I had it up about 6 months ago. And then every driver that I had, all my audio drivers, basically went kaput. And I had to get that fixed, which meant I had to go back and do a total restore of Windows. So I had to go back, keep all my files, all that stuff, and restore it. But in the past 2 years, I've replaced my graphics card, motherboard, about 6 different fans. What else have I done? I don't know. This whole thing's almost rebuilt, so it's almost basically a brand new computer. So,
I
But
have
no,
a question.
mhm.
I have a question. Like for Mac users, which I am, we have a thing called Time Machine. Does Windows have anything like that?
Yes. So you can roll back updates. You can roll back to a previous version. The problem is that doesn't necessarily make sure you're going to have that stuff, because I
Right.
tried that and it wasn't there. So,
Right.
It'll save your files, but it's not going to save your download. Like it's not going to your applications. You're going to have to re-download everything.
it's kind of
in
wonky.
Windows.
Yeah, it
it's
just
called-
depends.
We call it restore point.
Yeah.
Windows.
And so it doesn't always remember everything. Like for instance, if it's something fundamentally wrong with the program, it may not get rid of it may still remember that within the program, and it's then a problem. And sometimes it's Windows that's the problem, and it just acts like it isn't there. I use Macs sometimes, but Macs to me are antiquated because they don't allow you to do things like what I can do with this computer. I can upgrade it. This box for the
I can
foreseeable
upgrade
future,
my Mac computer.
not quite as easy as I can. I can open up the side, pull stuff out, and pop it back in myself.
Well, how I
If
usually
you
do
did
it, how I usually do it
Uh-huh.
with like say my computer just yesterday my laptop asked me to update. I closed down all my apps, and then click restyle new update. Just one click,
Mhm.
and of course it takes a little bit of time to upload and stuff. Then it shuts down my computer, and then uploads again, and
Well, I'm not.
then
Go
and
ahead.
then my computer's on, and then I have to reopen the apps that I closed down.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about hardware. So, like, I can update my
Oh,
graphics card in. Oh, I did this in like 2 minutes. Got it out of the box. Took the old one out. Popped the new one in. And now I have a computer that matches anything that's new. And all I
right.
did was buy the new piece. And so that's what I like about Windows computers. Now, Macs have some things that are okay. But for the cost, like for instance, I have a MacBook Pro like 12. It's an old one,
Right.
but I have it so I can get every new OS out there still, and so I can keep my apps new and stuff like that on a computer that technically you can't do that anymore on. So, but I'm not a big fan. Mine is my Windows RTX 4090 video card is twice the size of my Mac Mini. Yeah, I have a Mac Mini too. Um,
Yeah.
I'm
Nightbreeze
trying to
says,
remember.
"Wow, glad
This is
things
an
are working out better now." Indeed.
yes.
Um, Lim, Limpai says, "So weird seeing Chris outside of Zod stream for me, anyhow."
Yeah. No, that's true.
Hey, DJ Play Nice. What's
Hello.
up? And hello, Sherry. Hey, Sherry. Uh,
Sherry, hi.
Member says my Windows RTX 4090 video card is twice the size of my Mac Mini
And
M4.
yeah, that's what I've got
Wow.
is a 4090. And yeah, I mean I like it. It does a lot of extra stuff. Like most of my video stuff now, like my camera and stuff, it's being handled by that video card.
So all that took what, 2 years?
No. So
Uh,
it could have been quicker. But
hey, Trap.
hey Trap, what's going on?
Thanks, Trap.
It's a
Um
trap.
so I replaced the video card, motherboard. I had to I went to go re-goop, as it's called. So thermal paste
Yeah.
goes on your chip,
Hmm.
and I went to go redo that, and I had forgotten that the guy who built this for me originally, when he put in the chip, had a couple of the pins on that old chip had excuse me, had bent, but he got it in there without damaging it. And so when I pulled it out, like 2 or 3 of those pins stayed in. So when I went to go put it back in, I think it fried the motherboard. So then I had to get a new motherboard.
Oh.
Well, this is, if you think about 2 years ago, 2023 or so, this is when there were still some issues getting some things because the chips and stuff that they needed to make it. So I had to get a new chip, had to get a new motherboard, did that. And then I had to get a new power supply because everything else was taking up more power than my old power supply. Well, it could do it, but just not very well. And so I ended up, it basically was a snowball effect. So basically I ended up rebuilding my whole computer. And so
Right.
funding that is not necessarily the cheapest thing in the world.
Easy. Yeah.
It wasn't I won't say it was expensive. When I first built this was like a $6,500 to $7,000 computer that I built for about $3,000 because I knew people, I got deals and stuff like that. I put probably another $1,500 into it over the past 2 years to get where it's at now. So if I can say every 5 years or so, if I can put 1,500 into it, and basically make a new computer, I'll be happy. But again, I've gotten deals on this stuff, and Macs versus Windows. Don't start a religious war. They're both great. One is really expensive though. Yeah, I call it an expensive paperweight. But no, I mean, I don't know. Macs have some pluses, but they're so quirky and weird. It's like, I don't know.
Well,
I
every
feel
piece of technology has their pros and cons. Like I think when we clarify that, I think everybody has yet to encounter a computer that's totally perfect, which is
that is true. And that's by design. I guarantee you. People who make companies that make computers don't want it to be perfect for you, because if that's the case, you would never get rid of the thing, or you would never hate the thing. That's why things get faster. I mean,
right. Definitely. Oh man,
4 years ago. Sorry, go ahead.
Look at the crowd. Yeah. What an awesome chat. Don't forget to hit the like button, folks. 10-minute rule on PC building talk. A joke. Mac.
I was being asked questions.
Don't start a religious war. They're both great. One is really expensive though. I would say the same thing with iPhone and Android kind of thing. You know?
So I'm an Android person. I hate iPhones.
I am too, but they're starting to.
Android girl as well.
Well, Androids are starting to. Go ahead.
Android's more like Apple now.
There are parts of it, but the way, like, whenever they redo the updates and stuff, I find the way to make it work for me. They're a little more customizable. I have ways to make it do what I want it to do more than I've ever had an iPhone do what I want it to do. An iPhone I always feel like I'm forced to do things a certain way. And like, for instance, I don't have any issues on my iPhone or on my Android.
Yeah.
Tapping something, like if I write a sentence and I make a mistake, I can tap right where I need to change it. Every time I have ever done that on an iPhone, it doesn't work for me. It wants to highlight it. It wants to put it at the back, the front of the letter or the word, or the back or the front of the sentence. It does it, and it always gives me trouble. And I have a lot of experience with both. I've worked at places that required us to use iPhones for things and things like that. And every time they hand me one, I'm like, oh God.
Yeah. Hey, Bone.
Hello.
Hey, Bone.
There is a perfect computer out there, a fembot. What?
Yes, Trap. And her name is Brittany.
Britney Spears?
Yes.
She juggles.
Wasn't she one of the?
I hear.
I don't believe
she's
one of the
nuts.
fembot.
Wasn't she the fembot in one of the Austin Powers?
I don't believe so.
She wasn't.
I want to know.
A bit young at the time.
But Trap says, smash the like button and subscribe. Yes, please. Thank you.
That's
And,
right.
and subscribe to these lovely folks in the panel too, not just me.
I
Oh,
appreciate
okay.
it.
Bone says, I'm used to Apple products. Hard for me to switch now.
He's in
Ditto, Bone. I'm right there with you. Hey, Kapla, Gorilla, such your thoughts. How are you doing, buddy?
Hello.
Kapla.
Krishna, can we get some arrow keys on the iPhone? But
Yeah.
you had arrow keys on the iPhone. It's called emoji.
Oh my God.
Brittany was a fembot in the opening of Goldmember.
Yep.
okay.
I knew it.
It's
But
been a
Vanessa
long time since I've
Yeah.
seen those.
Wow.
was a fembot all along. Sadness.
I don't believe that. I believe that she was switched out at some point. I don't believe she was fembot the whole time.
I don't really like Michael Myers as Austin Powers. I like him more as
Who would
Shrek.
you rather?
Shrek.
Should be Austin Powers, Raquel.
I I don't know. I like him as Shrek than more than Austin Powers.
Well, yeah,
That's
I
just
think we
me.
all do, but like, I can't imagine anyone else being Austin Powers though.
No.
Of course not. Looking for instructions from Simgolf are in Crayon eating turn.
So you want it in
Oh,
marine
right. I was
Uh,
gonna figure that out for you, Gorilla. I haven't got around to it. I
Crayon
will do that.
terms. Crayon eating terms. I know those. I know those.
I'm pretty good at getting classic games to run because I play them on my channel a lot, so I'm sure I can do it. I just haven't
Which
had the time yet.
what's your favorite classic game?
Well, right now I'm playing Fallout, and I think I really like it. But
The
I
original
like
one?
adventure. Yeah, the very original, very
Oh,
first Fallout.
yes. Very nice.
Yes, but also I really like adventure games, so I like King's Quest and Space Quest and really, really old stuff like that.
Very good.
Have you ever played Hugo's House of Horrors? That too, just like it's like
I
text
have
adventure
not.
games
Mhm.
with
No,
limited graphics.
I grew up. Man, this is gonna age me. I don't know how old everybody is here. Moria's probably around
Ouch.
my age.
Oh, I thought you would say I was the oldest. I was like, ouch.
No.
Hey, Sunflower.
Preemptive ouch.
I don't know if you. I don't know. I don't know which one of us is older. Doesn't really matter
I
at a
think I
certain
am.
point.
I think I am by a year or two. I think.
Anyways, so my first games were on an Apple IIc.
Oh, so you
Apple
played Oregon Trail.
disc games, like floppy disc games.
I
And
remember
yes,
those. I
Oregon
remember
Trail.
those.
Cat, or what was it? Cats, the typing game. Pause. That's what it was called.
Oh,
Pause.
right. It was kind of like a
Um,
Tamagotchi for your
We did
desktop.
not have.
Yeah. And then I had Tom Sawyer, or not Tom Sawyer, Treasure Island in text game. And then Monkey
Oh,
Island
Treasure
came
Island.
out years later. That was pretty cool. That was a Lucasfilm thing. Monkey Island.
Those are adventure
Um,
games. Those are my favorite kinds.
Yeah, no, and so I grew up on those. So my Treasure Island game for years, we would play it. My mom and I couldn't figure out anything. We would end up going around this little island. Like you just keep going around and get the same things at each one. We could never figure out how to do it. Then years later, I still had that computer. I don't have it anymore because I'm not even sure if it would ever boot up again if I had it. But I got it out one day and I did it and I got past it and I had to call my mom and be like, Mom, I did it. And she's like, what? I said, remember that Treasure Island game where you couldn't get anywhere? And she's like, yeah. I said, I figured out how to get somewhere. And she's like, where'd you get it? I said, got back to the ship. She said, what happened after that? And I said, I could go back to the island. And I couldn't get past that. I don't know what it was. But no, I mean, that was years ago. So my mom was a teacher.
Right.
And we had computers in my house probably since I've been 7. So,
We were poor and we did not have that.
well, it wasn't because I'm not going to say that. Here's the thing. My mom
Mm-hmm.
got grants because she was a teacher. So she could
Right.
have it at home,
Right.
learn how to use it, and transfer that to students. So we always had a computer in our house. We had AOL back when it first came out. I remember the AOL disc, not AOL version 1.1.
I would free
Yes.
those free ones. in
Well, you
the
got
mail.
one every 2 days in the mail.
Right? Yeah, I would just.
It's
see how
like-
far I could frisbee
Yeah.
that sucker. I
One-
we
one
didn't have a
person
home
collects-
computer until I was 20.
Until you, yeah, I was into my teenage years before I got a computer. But there's one person who collected all the AOL discs, and he made an Art Deco piece that
Oh, that sounds
he
cool.
hung in their living room.
Yep.
Sweet. Well, for me, like I maybe not be older as Chris or Maura here, but yes, I did play Oregon Trail on floppy disk.
Did you see they have a new Oregon Trail for PS5?
Like I know
Yes,
Trap
5.
told-
Oh my gosh.
I know Trap told me the game name. Hold on a minute. I know the name of it. Super Amazing Wagon Adventure is similar to Oregon Trail, but much crazier.
Yeah, no, I know. But here, I'm going to show you something, or not show it to you, but I'm going to send you a link in the.
All right. While
Chat.
you do that, I'll be getting to the chats here. Fair enough, Chris. The question is, who asked you about PC building? I'll direct my humorous comments to them. Okay.
Damn.
Trap, I'm sorry I can't stay. I wish I could even be on the panel tonight, but it was great seeing you all. Well,
We send
next time,
hugs.
next time we do a hangout stream, you'll be the first one on the panel.
Mhm.
Shiftyism, hello. The only person that could be Austin Powers is the guy the character is based on, partially Michael Caine. I did not know that.
Oh
That's
yeah,
wild.
no, that's why they made him his father.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was just because they want a nice classic British actor somewhere in the mix. To class
Oh,
it up
probably
a
that too. But
You got to class it up a little, even that
all
shit
right,
out.
Raquel.
Marine terms?
Oh, all right.
Mark.
So somebody
Yes.
was like, "Can you explain things in crayon-eating terms?" And they make jokes about the Marines being the only branch that eats crayons.
Right.
And the red ones, I'm told, is the favorite. And so I was like,
Well, it
"So
just depends.
instruction for Marines," and so that's why it was.
It just
Right.
depends. Oh, here they are. Yes, I found them.
Other
Yes.
person, I mean.
I have no idea.
Only other person, I mean. Jill, I thought you preferred strategy games.
No, I really
Here.
don't. I like to control one person at a time, a whole bunch of people. No, I
Well,
can play
listen
them.
to
I'll
her.
play
she likes to control people one person at a time.
I wish I had a belt so I could make a little crack sound. Like,
Wait, what? Wait, time out. You want this?
oh, yeah.
Oh,
feel
damn.
I feel a little spicy tonight. It's all right.
Just saying.
Night Priest
Ask and you
says,
shall receive.
I'm 49 and a half. Right on.
Hello,
Mikey. How are you doing?
44.
Shifty Gizm says hello.
Hello, Shifty.
I'm just joking around about the PC talk, of course. Yes, hit the like button, everyone. Click it. Or even look it if you want. My Nightbreed says my first games were on Atari Bank or Bank. I don't know.
Play back.
Back in 1979 or 80. Right on.
Damn.
And hey, George Lucas.
Those are great. I bought an Atari for
Hey,
my son when
George.
he was 4 years old because I wanted him to understand where video games came from before he got too old and just got attracted to all the big.
Start them where they belong.
Right.
I started Dee Dee out on the original Nintendo when she was like 4 and 5. I had to put pillows down because she would rage quit at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Things have not gotten necessarily better. Play League of Legends, and it like sometimes I'll hear her hit the desk and be like, "What the hell? I'm carrying all you motherfuckers." And I'm like, "Deidre, language."
Yeah.
I built a IIC clone in junior high.
I do not know what that means.
I don't know what that is. Like that means like you have to explain DJ play nice. Gorilla says you can still play around jail.
Look over in the private chat.
My kid was saying that game was so old and way too easy, and he didn't even make it to the Kansas River.
Now, just for those of you who don't know, I'm in Kansas City. That game starts in Independence, Missouri, or Meth Dependence, as we like to call it here. But that's right down the road for me. So the Oregon Trail started right where I live, and so I always found that amazing. Although what's funny is I think it was people from Boston Tech or something like that created it, and it was teachers that created it, and they made literally nothing off of it. They just wanted to create something that could be a teaching tool and something the kids would enjoy, and it turned out to be every bit of that. And I think it was one of the greatest. Yeah, it's one of the greatest examples of a game that is enjoyable that was designed to be a teaching tool. So, the crayon terms. I always like to have my crayons ready.
Well, it's always difficult to tell whether or not you can ford the river or not, and I suspect that Gorilla's son couldn't decide the right answer.
Well, it's like, the water is 3 feet deep, and all this stuff. It'll tell you all that, and you're like, oh hell, it's called
just float right across.
It's called caulking, where you can caulk it and then walk it across, so it keeps it watertight supposedly. And inevitably, you're going to hit a branch or a rock or something like that, and it's going to crack your wagon open, and everything's going to fall out. And then when you float, same thing. You're going to hit it. It's like, so I got really smart and just decided to be a banker. The bankers have the most money. And if you buy the amount of materials it tells you to buy at the beginning of the game, you are probably going to do all right. The only difference is it'll take you longer because you have to, anytime anybody gets sick, you have to pause and wait like 5 days.
Yeah, but banker's easy mode. I at least have to do farmers.
The deal with that is I can pay the freaking ferry to take me across. And now, granted, not every one of the crossings, the Native American, but not every one of them has that. And so that's always the, like, am I going to make it? I love that game. I still play it. And like I said, right there for all of you in the on the stream here, in the private chat, and you know what? Hell, am I allowed? Can I put
let me give this the chat real quick. DJ Planning says, if you do fire it back up, make sure you don't have any leaking capacitors and safely discharge them. Right?
Yes, prevent fires. Only you can prevent computer fires.
Exactly. Sunflower says, what's up for Kill?
There you go.
Nothing much, just chilling.
If you go to that link, everybody, that is the original Oregon Trail game. It's got color though, so actually that's the Apple IIe version, which had the capability of doing color, but it's basically the exact same thing. The only thing they did to the programming was make it color.
There's the link right there.
And that's for all of you in the private chat too.
Yeah, this website has a lot of cool old games.
Yes, yeah, no, I love that website.
Sweet.
So I play I can play those on streams and stuff. It's nice to have that stuff. Of course, I have emulators and stuff like that too. Echo of the Dolphin is one of my favorite games of all time, and I have a
Sony.
Yeah, not Sony. It's Sega Game Gear, and I have an emulator that can do that. They're coming out with a new Echo of the Dolphin game, I hear.
Yes, they are.
Fun.
Which should be interesting.
Adorable.
Some girl in second grade put my fancy plastic crayon case with a large pack of Crayolas on the radiator one day. Oh my God.
Oh, all right. I'll get to the rest of the comments in a bit here. Where I left off. Here it is. Lim Pie says, I would never question Moira's topic choices. Meow.
Right.
Gorilla says he can still play retro Oregon Trail. Right on. Which lady is carrying a whip tonight? Apparently Moira.
Well, he had the sound effects in it. Ooh.
Damn. I prefer SimCity 3000, Civilization, Age of Empress, Rome Total War, and Minecraft.
I still have all of my original discs for that. And SimCity 3000 is probably my favorite of the SimCities because it was the perfect mix of retro with really good playability. And then when they went to Sim 4, it got really kind of ultra realistic, but less fun to play it. Like I used to play in SimCity 3000, you can play scenarios like where aliens attack and stuff like that.
Well, there's a recent Civilization game that I don't know if it's already out or is it upcoming. I don't know.
Well, Civilization's been around since the original Warcraft games. So Warcraft, they were all like strategy, gameplay, movement games where you would have to train troops and stuff like that. But unlike the games on your phone where you have to wait hours and hours for troops to train, you just clicked it. It didn't train them immediately, but there was a time on it. But you didn't have to pay to, anything because it was a game you bought. And so Warcraft, Civilization was very similar to Warcraft, things like that. But, like Diablo, I still have Diablo and Diablo 2. Love Diablo 2. In fact, about 4 years ago, a group of us did Diablo 2 streams. And we got to the cow level. If you've never been to the cow level, those are fun levels. But,
sweet. So Civilization 7 came out this past February?
Mhm.
So something.
I don't know about the new ones. I still
Yeah.
have, I think it's 1, 2, and 3, which are all disc games. The biggest problem with gaming now, if you buy these games,
Right?
is the microtransactions.
They're too
Used to-
expensive.
Well, you used to buy a game and you bought everything. Or if they had an expansion pack, you bought the expansion pack, brought it home, and it updated everything so it could play it. Now, excuse me.
Everything has
Now-
DLCs.
Yeah, it's DLC. Well, I mean, that's still expansion packs. I'm okay with DLCs. It's the microtransactions. So if I buy a game and it says there's 40 playable characters, brand new characters, right? Like if I buy, let's say Lego Star Wars, the new one, I bought it, I have it, and I have all the characters for it. Well, I waited until they allowed all the characters come through because the first DLC pack they released for that said 40 playable characters or whatever it was. And you could get 10 of them, but then the other 30 were microtransactions. And I hate that. It's like I can't play Fortnite because Fortnite is nothing but a
Money
scam.
pit.
They want to keep charging you for new things, and it doesn't change the game. It's just a new skin or this or that. And to me, it's maddening because I come from a generation that when you paid $15-20 for a new game, that you got the game and you could do
The whole
everything the
game.
game could do.
Right.
And now you spend $80 and it's constantly saying, hey, you want to play with this gun? Or the new thing, one of the newer things over the past few years has been they give you a mission and you get that gun and you get to play with that gun and see how awesome that gun is. And then what happens? They take it from you and say, hey, do you want to play with that? It costs you $5.99. And it's like, no, I'm sorry. I can't. I really hope that sometime in the near future, microtransactions are either outlawed, which I don't want government to get into it. I really don't. But I do think it's a complete sham and a total like pyramid scheme. And it's directed right at kids.
Just like Candy Crush.
Yes, but anything like that, I think they should take all microtransactions out. If you download a game on your phone or if you get a game on your computer or on the Xbox or PlayStation, it needs to be the whole game. And if they want to release a DLC, it has to have so many new things to it or something like that. It has to be sold as a whole pack. One of the worst things I think that's happened recently is the Final Fantasy VII remake. They're doing it in 4 parts. And this is a game I remember when I first bought it. It was 2 discs or 4 discs. I can't remember now. It's been forever. On PlayStation. And I seem to remember my mom freaking out that I spent like $35 on it. Each one of the 4 parts is going for like $85. So the whole game that I played, while yes, the graphics aren't as good, and the gameplay is probably much less, but each part is more than the whole game was when it first came out by $50.
Is it releasing all at once, or are they releasing it once every 4
They're
months? Or something?
I don't know. I just know
Rolling it
2
out.
parts are out. I'll look it up now. And the problem with that is if you get involved in it, and this is a real thing that can happen. I'll talk about Harry Potter here in a second, but
Right.
So with the Final Fantasy VII remake, they split it into 4 parts. So part 1's come out. I think part 2's come out. Let me see here real quick. While you're doing your thing, let me look up my research.
Nightbreeze is back. I can't type, LOL. No problem. DJ Playnight says, Jill, that was awesome idea. Shifty Gizm says, my first games were on Commodore 64. Potty Pigeon was my favorite. Look it up. It's about a pigeon who poops on cars, making them wreck. Okay.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah, that's funny. Apple LLC. LLC is Apple 2, okay? And I
Mhm.
remember those AOL CDs. I do not.
Yeah.
Mikey says, Chris Knight, are you a KC Chiefs? Damn,
Um,
I bumper that.
hold on. Let
Yeah.
me see
Tongue
here.
twister.
Hold on. Just
Are
a second.
you a KC Chiefs fan? I'm guessing you're not very nice when you play my S4 49ers teams. I think he meant
San
the opposite.
Francisco.
I
San
think
Francisco
I think he
49ers.
meant the opposite team.
Hold on just a second. I want to show this gentleman something here.
Okay. DJ Play
let's
Nice
see.
says, how high's the water mama? 3 feet high and rising.
Am I a Chiefs fan? No.
Oh, let me get the rest of the chats here because I'm way behind here.
Yes, go ahead.
Some girl in second grade put my fancy plastic crayon case with a large pack of Crayolas on the radiator one day and told me it was her later on because she wanted to see if I could cry. Damn. What the
Did you?
hell? I hope not. I was too busy explaining to the teacher I didn't do it by mistake to cry. Aww. What does this mean? Nice. Gorilla says, what's the emulator in crayon eating?
Blue, purple, green, yellow.
Sunflower, Raquel, does Chris have a YouTube channel? Yes, he does.
Yes.
He, I didn't.
Hold on, I'll put it in the chat for you.
An emulator is just a way to pretend you have an old machine on your new computer, and like playing an Apple II GS or playing DOS games on a old Windows machine. You can get DOSBox to play old games that don't play on modern gaming machines.
And to Sunflower, go ahead and keep going. Sunflower sucks.
Sunflower sucks. Bone says I posted his link. Oh, thank you, Bone. Thank you, sweetie. Diablo 2 was my first multiplayer game. Nice. Chris is a big time stream guy. He's been out of the gig for a while doing his own stuff. And that sometimes happens with content creators. Sometimes they just need a break.
Well, it wasn't a break for me. I really wish I could have done it. I started back in 2018. So this is like my 7th year of doing this. I actually, now I haven't streamed this long, but I have a YouTube account that is, I want to say 2 months younger than YouTube itself. It was like one of the first 5,000 accounts or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but
that was back when they were paying people to make a channel.
They didn't pay me.
My personal YouTube account, I created in 2008, so it's that old.
See here, I'll tell you.
Let's see how old is my account. Let me double check here. Let's see here. September of 2008. That's how old my original.
I have to remember
account
which one it
is on YouTube.
See
anyway, Shifty Gizm says I don't got it anymore, old man bird. But these vids, but there's vids on YouTube. Sorry, tongue twister.
Mine says that I joined YouTube in 2006 on March 17th.
Nice. September 2nd, 2008 for me, for my original account. Games are now $80 now. GTA 6 will be $100. Is that for the deluxe version or standard? Because of that standard, it's
going to be stupid, whatever the price is.
Because Harry Potter, I don't remember the original standard price for Harry Potter. Not Harry Potter, but Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy, I don't remember the standard price for it, but I do know that the deluxe version was $80. That I do know. GTA 6, I'm assuming okay, I'm just assuming here. I'm not saying that this is going to be a fact here. I'm assuming the standard version is going to be $100, and the deluxe version will be $120. That's what I'm guessing.
It'll probably be something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what's bad is that people are putting groceries on like payment terms. Imagine what they're going to do for that game.
Well, that's really sad.
It is it not? I mean, and I'm not. Let me first and foremost tell everybody here that if for some reason you have to put something on a payment terms because you can't afford it, it's not. I don't blame that on you because the world's stupid right now. But it really tells us about the current state of the world.
Okay. So
okay,
the standard version of Hogwarts Legacy is $69.
I have that. I'm sorry, it's just over or just under a year younger than YouTube. I forgot. March 21st, 2006.
2006.
Yeah, I might have an older one, but that was right before its 1 year anniversary or 1 year birthday. I might have an older one. I'd have to look because I've got.
Limpi says just like that, Big Time by Peter Gabriel. Alrighty. Been playing Lego Jurassic Park. It's pretty fun. Pay $3 for it. I love Lego games. They're pretty
Lego
fun.
games are some of the best games ever. I love Jurassic Park. That one is great. I actually remember when the Sega Genesis Jurassic Park game came out.
Right.
I had that one and the Nintendo game.
Bone says I hate battle passes too. Oh. Fortnite is a scam, but it's fun too. Agreed.
I cannot. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Battle passes are fun if you play all the time and get your money back each month. I really paid for the Rocket passes and Rocket League. What should be banned or outlawed for kids is trading cards and blind box / bag toys. It's mind washing kids into gambling and always have since the collector's boom of the 90s. Best part is anything you collect in the first part of Final Fantasy VII Remake, you lose in the second, as well as having your levels set to Pacific level. That's no fun. $85 for each part. For what each part, Sunflower?
Oh, for each of the Final Fantasy games that are coming out in batches.
That's just
apparently.
That just sucks. What the hell?
According to Chris, there are going to be 4 of them. Yeah, 4. And that's just one game. That's wild.
Like, so
that better be like 400 hours worth of gameplay.
Let me get me straight. Instead of paying one time for one game, I have to pay 4 times for the same game. That's just insane. Nope.
And the value of games is usually measured by how many hours it takes to beat it, and so I'd expect 400 hours of gameplay out of that price at least.
Yeah. If someone is gifting me a Fembot, I want the Jessie Rocket version. Alrighty.
James, Jessie.
My first PC games experience was on a Commodore 64. Right on. There's Chris Knight's YouTube channel, The Review 3000. Go check out his channel. Sunflower says one of the first PC games I had is Lemons on a floppy disk. I'm not sure of that game. Never heard it before. Hey,
it's a Lemmings game, and you kind of control these little creatures.
Yeah, Lemmings.
That
I have it on
you
my
make
phone.
sure they don't die. You march them over bridges.
Well, that depends on what version you play.
Right.
Or maybe
you can play my part. Yeah, you can play my way and.
Right. Sashi, greetings everyone. It's not night where I am, but I showed up anyway. Hey, thanks for being here, Sashi. Appreciate it. DJ Play Nice says Lemmings. Scroll. I missed the OG of days of YouTube when it was just a few vloggers like Bohem Rinto and Jackie, aka Filthy Whore.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, I mean, so YouTube, people don't remember this, but YouTube was originally just a bunch of people who were filming just like family things, and they threw it up. And originally it was more of a, if I remember right, it was originally more of a social media thing. And then about 20 years ago is when it really started going to what we have now. And the people like PewDiePie and a few of these older channels that started when that happened, and kids who are now 20 and 30 who started when they were like 5 or 6 and just got on and just was doing stupid stuff, they are the ones that are way ahead of everybody. So yeah, no, it's really changed. They totally remade FS7.
Rento met up with Jackie for a video, and like IHOP, and broke the internet, or felt like it at the time. Damn. February 3rd, 2007 is when I created my channel. Right on. DJ Playnice says catching up at 2 times speed. Price adjusted from 1982. People paid up to $165 for a copy of Pac-Man for the Atari 2600. What a GYP.
Jip.
A jip. Shifty Gism says they totally remade Final Fantasy VII. They took the narrative of one story and expanded it to 4. Added a bunch of stuff. Final Fantasy VII wasn't nearly as long as we remember, as random fights padded it out a ton.
Yeah, so like the version I have on Switch and the version I have on, I think, my PS3, and maybe I have it on my Xbox. I had to go look. I have something that fast forwards through everything. So like it gives you limit breaks so you can have your limit break immediately. And it also fast forwards through every fight. So like a fight that used to take 5 minutes goes like that. And the really long fights, like the last fight of that game, if I remember right, the first time I played it, took me almost an hour and a half. And it just, because it always plays the limit breaks and everything else, and it just really takes forever. The first time I played it with the fast forward stuff on it, I beat that game in like 2 days. And I sat there going like, how in the world did I spend like months on this game?
Cheat mode engaged.
It's not quote unquote a cheat mode. It doesn't necessarily like the limit break thing. Yeah, that's kind of a cheat, but the fast forward and all that, no. And actually at a certain point in the game, even the limit break thing doesn't necessarily make it that great for you.
Right.
But that, the thing is the first time you play it through, and if you don't play it immediately after, or if you wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, with the original one, the idea is you're watching every cutscene. You're actually involved. You're engrossed in the story. That's what took so long with Final Fantasy VII. Nobody wanted to fast forward through things. Nobody wanted to try to get past it because we are all entranced by this beautiful game. That game was really one of the first visually stunning games, because it actually had video cutscenes in places that looked fantastic for the time.
Right.
And we were used to playing Final Fantasy on Game Boys and Nintendos. And it, kind of looks like the Pokemon games they have now on handheld games. That's what they looked like. That's what all Final Fantasy games looked like. And I loved them. But when we got to Final Fantasy VII and we saw that, it was like the second that they took Grand Theft Auto 2 from top down, which looked pretty good. And if you have a newer copy of it, or
today's younger folks, like the PS2 graphics, were kind of like boxy, and today's generation will say that those graphics are crap. But
They
the
are.
time, but the time for me, you know, I liked it. I loved it. I still loved it, even though it's not good. It's nostalgic for me. I love PS2 games. Still do.
Yeah. When you grow up with pixelated games like Pac-Man and Pong, I mean, I grew up with Pong. Now, granted, Pong's been around since the late 60s. I'm not that old, but I'm not that much younger. So Pong were the games we were playing. And if you had an Atari and you could play Pac-Man, it looks so great. I don't know if you've played any of the Grand Theft Auto games. I think I've seen you've played some of them, haven't you?
The only game I've been playing, I haven't played it past earlier games of Grand Theft Auto. I haven't really had the opportunity to play them.
Have you played
my first
Vice City?
No. The first
Okay.
real experience for me playing, first ever Grand Theft Auto game that I played was Grand Theft Auto 5 Online.
Mhm.
So GTA 5 Online was my first real experience playing Grand Theft Auto.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, so here, this is what I'm talking about. So I love this commercial. This is a commercial from Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So if you've played Grand Theft Auto, you know it has radio stations and they have funny commercials in there. I love this commercial because it is very much, if you listen to the kids in the background, it's very much how I felt as a kid. Because if I look back at it now, I'm like, man, this is a perfect example of what our games were. Here you go.
Are you tired of Dad?
Dad, no one wants to hear your stupid Vietnam stories.
Are you tired of Mom?
Hi, Angel. Do you want to read a book or go outside?
No!
The arcade comes to your living room, only without the creepy guys offering to show you puppies.
Awesome!
The Degenitron. You can play video games just like you were in the arcade.
Excellent!
The Degenitron gaming system plays 3 exciting games, including Defender of the Faith, where you save the green dots with your fantastic flying red square.
Cool!
Monkey's Paradise, where you swing from green dot to green dot with your red square monkey.
That's rad!
And Penetrator, where you smash the green dots deep inside the mysterious red square.
Wow!
The Degenitron brings arcade realism to your living room. It can even take quarters, and a strange, sweaty man comes by to empty the machine on Fridays. Degenitron, fighting the evil of boredom.
I'll never go to school again!
Wow.
Until your parents make you go to school.
No, but that's it. But that's the thing. The green dots attack the red square. It's like that's what it looked like. But when I was a kid, man, it was like, oh my god, this is amazing that we can play this on a TV that's this size. I mean, when I was a kid, getting a black and white TV was like, oh my god, I have hit the jackpot.
I remember, I'm sure younger folks won't really remember this, but back in the 90s and early 2000s, there was no plasma TV. There was just cube box TVs, like Sony, really thick.
Even those
cube
flat
box
screens
TVs.
had a huge back to them.
Mm-hmm.
They were 900 pounds, and once it got on a table somewhere, it stayed there.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause nobody.
Yeah,
wants to do that
I remember, watching
People-
back on, I went somewhere, I forget where, and I watched. There was some kind of program on the TV playing on this Qbox TV, and the quality was shit. I'm like, how did I even watch anything on that TV?
The CRTs,
Our
the
eyes were not
CRTs.
high def back then.
Yeah. People designed their living rooms around TVs because, again, once the TV went down, wherever it ended up, that was it. There's a YouTube video. I'd have to look it up in my history, but this guy heard there was I want to say it was a 45-inch CRT TV. It was like it was the largest one ever made, and there was only one that anybody had ever found and taken a picture of. And this picture, nobody really could confirm it existed. This guy tracked it down, and it turned out to be in the exact same spot that picture was. It was out in Japan or something like that. And he actually got the guy to give it to him for free because he was closing down the restaurant it was in. He had it shipped back here, put it in his garage, and they played games on it, and it still worked. I mean, those things were tanks. I mean, as long as you didn't disturb the tube, those things will still go. Now, granted, when you turn it on, it's like turning on the freaking proton packs and Ghostbusters. You hit it, it's like, and you're like,
Ghostbusters.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, okay. No,
but
I mean,
the CRTs were how you could see the beginning, the Big Bang, because you saw the static television. That's the echoes.
I mean, I don't know. I love the TVs of today. It's just like I sit there, and I think
I love my smart TV. I love
Jill.
My smart
Was
TV.
it you that was saying you bought the Atari for your? Was it your?
Yes,
your
yes,
son?
that's correct. When he was 4 years old, I bought him an Atari, and he fell in love with Pac-Man.
Yeah, so I have an original Sega Genesis, Sega Master System, Nintendo. I have a ColecoVision. I have an Atari 2600. I had all that stuff, and I hooked it up for my kids. And when they were like babies, like 1 year old, I would sit them on my lap in the middle of the night when I came home from DJing and stuff. You know, this is what I did with my kids. You know, I let my then wife, who not around anymore, or well, she is. But,
I have
whatever. But I would sit them on my lap, and I would play all sorts of different games with them. That was my time with them at night. You know, I'd wake them up so I could feed them, change them, do that. And then I'd sit them on my lap and we'd play games. And I brought them up on PlayStation, the original Xbox, the 2600, all of those games. And my kids still love that stuff. I mean,
yeah, and eventually they know how to use the controller sooner than you think.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yep. Well, I still have a SNES. I don't have the PS1 console. I like to get my hands on one if possible. PS2, 3, and 4, and 5. I do have a Wii, and I do have an Xbox 360, but that's really my brother's, though. But he left it behind, so I guess I'll claim that for myself. I guess.
There you go. It's yours until he comes to get it.
Yeah.
64.
Yeah,
GameCube.
and now they're
Before
like
I've got one of
talking.
those.
Now they're talking about the PS6 coming out in 2027 now, and I'm like, wait a minute, it hasn't been a decade yet, and we're already talking about a PS6 now. I just
Well, so what they were eventually going to do with the PlayStation and the Xbox is it's going to be a very small, beefed up video version of a desktop computer. It just won't be able to do processing of all the different stuff. It'll do very well with video, but it will not do like all the extra stuff. That's what they've been trying for years. Because if you remember Xbox One, the big deal with Xbox One was put it on your TV, plug your DVD player or your Blu-ray player into it, plug your cable box into it, plug your TV, and so it was supposed to control everything. Well, they doubled down on that when they came out with the Xbox Series One or X.
well, they're doubling down with the you can get the PS5 or with a disc version, or you can get just the digital one.
Exactly.
I'd rather have both. Thank you.
That's the thing. They are really heavily trying to just go to full digital. And the bad thing is like, for instance, right now on my Xbox upstairs, so my kids have the newer version. I don't, whatever. I mean, I don't even have a PS5 right now. I have a PS4. My son has a PS5, but God forbid giving him 20 years of free video games. I can't even borrow the thing. No, but on my Xbox upstairs, I have, it's a driving game. I can't even remember right now what it is. I have it on here somewhere too. I can't get it to download. I bought the thing. I have the files on my Xbox, but it won't download.
Damn.
Was it Cruising USA?
No, not that old. Uh, no, it's the one that does the different countries, and it's the third one, whichever it is. But like for instance, Microsoft has screwed up my Microsoft account royally, to where a lot of my stuff, like I lost files and stuff, and they're like, oh, well, because what they told me is that I had to get a new account, start a new account, and they would transfer everything.
Damn.
And then they didn't transfer everything, and so I fought with them, and then they were like, "Oh, you know what? We did screw up, but we can't get it back for you. You're screwed."
Oh,
I'm like,
damn!
what?
That's a
I was
double.
like, wait a minute, you effed me over. You're admitting to doing so, but you're like, "Oh well," and I'm like, "Hold on." I mean, for years I paid for Game Pass. For years I paid for Office 365 or whatever, whichever version of Office I had to pay for. I paid monthly for it. I did all this stuff, and now you're telling me, oh well. And I've turned it into the Attorney General for my state and stuff like that, and they just double down, say, you know, we don't care. That's why I don't like digital shit. Don't like digital stuff because
you don't really.
What game was it? Oh, E.T. Oh my god!
You don't really own it. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, well, you own it. They tell you own it, but if just like your money is digital now. What stops a bank from one day saying when you have $1,000 in your account, you go in one day and say, "Oh, you have $200."
That totally reminds
They
me.
do that with inflation.
So
that's what
I think it was a couple and it wasn't yesterday. The day before that, the day before that, I was playing Fortnite with Be Yourself Adventures. His bank account got hacked in the middle of the stream.
Who?
My friend Be Yourself Adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
like
like
when he was playing Fortnite, his bank account got hacked in the middle of the stream, and he had to cancel his card. And he is really bummed because he can't really get Darth Jar Jar, and he's really close to like completing the XP quota, and he can't get it now because of it. Because of the.
I hate that.
And
those games.
His bank account was hacked and stuff.
Yeah. Here, I want you to share this real quick. I'm going to show Bone this really quick. I don't know if Bone knows this. This was a rumor when I was a kid.
How long is the vid? A few seconds?
Like it's like 4 minutes, but I'll skip ahead. Here, let me find where I need to go here.
Yeah, I do.
Just really quick.
Careful with that.
I know.
Okay.
So when I was a kid and E.T. came out, I had a copy. I might still have one. And if it's in a box,
I have one.
It's worth millions, they say. I have an original.
No, it's
one.
not.
No.
Yeah.
In a box,
in box,
sealed.
Oh yeah, unopened.
It is the holy grail of Atari games.
Yes,
now,
you're correct.
If you have the cartridge, I want to tell you, it's like $500-$600 because this.
It can't be.
No. What I'm going to show you right now.
I bought a bundle several years ago.
The crash. Well, you see, that. Hold on. The game.
Sorry, Chris. I had ET on Atari. I had no idea what I was doing, and Chris is about to show the.
Yeah.
So
ET was such a horrible game. It literally bankrupted the gaming industry. It was such a horrible game, and there is a way to play it. I'm going to tell you, there are people out there that figured out how to play it and how to win. It's crazy though, and you are lucky as hell if you can.
Sense.
But the rumor was Atari went back, grabbed every copy of this game they could, and buried it out in the desert. And it was a crazy story.
Today,
but this right here,
the Atari treasure trove,
was the people who found the buried
financial straits.
ET games.
All this inventory that's supposedly worthless and literally truck it out into the desert and cover it
up. So that's the guy who
created the
hold on.
Watch. No. He's just the guy that tracked down this legend.
All right, pause it.
Yep. Hold on. I'm going to look. So watch.
Zach is about to speak. Let's see what's going on.
We found an intact E.T. the video game.
This is a true story. They found thousands.
The legend was so awesome. Like, it's kind of a shame to finally figure it out, right? Like, I think
They found thousands of these games out in the desert. They actually did this. This was like a holy grail myth. Like
if
people
you know,
heard this.
If you know the Angry Video Game Nerd, this event inspired him to make an entire movie.
Yes, no, and that's what this is part of it. They were involved in that. Like this stuff was they were interviewed, and this scenes of this stuff was done. They actually were there videoing it when they did that. It's like an hour and a half long movie. It's great. I love that.
It's a fun movie, yeah, and he made a good video game too.
But what was weird is that and like you said, it's kind of sad when they found it. Like, oh my God, we actually figured this out. I mean, think about that though. Atari was hoping nobody would ever see this. And when I say the video game industry was bankrupt because of this game, I'm not lying.
Well, and the problem
we didn't
with
get
Atari
anything.
was that they let
ahead.
everybody make a game. They
Exactly.
let everybody. There was no gatekeeping at all about who could create an Atari cartridge.
No, there
and
wasn't.
So that's why quality wasn't so great.
But when this happened, we didn't get anything until Nintendo came out. And then Nintendo upped that game so much further than anything we'd ever seen, because Atari was the green dots and red square. That's what they were.
You had to use your imagination.
Yeah. and it was fine. We were great. I mean, granted, Pitfall was one of the best games ever. But
actually, my son, when he was 5, he was afraid of Pitfall, and I never could figure out why.
I can see why. No, the scorpions and stuff. I mean, I don't know. And you could sink in quicksand. The alligators, yeah. But this myth, when we saw these videos, it was like, oh my God, they did it. This proved that Atari was so ashamed of this game.
Now they are.
Well, it's not that. Atari now would probably wear it, and I mean, I don't know, Atari is still around, so they probably kind of wear it as a badge of honor that they did something, and it became this myth, this legend, and then they found out it was true. And I mean, they survived. They came back. I mean, so whatever.
Right.
They're selling retro consoles now.
Oh yeah, no, and actually, there's companies now that actually make the original version of the 2600, and they're creating new games on the little cartridges, and it looks just like the old stuff. It's just they're new games.
Right. It's pretty cool.
It is.
Bonus says I couldn't get past their hands in Final Fantasy VII. Right on. Night Breeze says at the time PS2 efforts were mind blowing. Yeah, at the time they were.
Yes,
when
I was
Grand
listening
Theft
to
Auto
you say
3.
How blocky PS2 was, and I was like, "What?" When I was a kid, I was marveling at those graphics.
Well, when Grand Theft Auto 3, so the first time anybody mentioned Grand Theft Auto 3 to me, I'm like, okay, what? Why are you guys raving about this game? It's so awesome, so awesome. I'm like, what's so awesome about it, man? It's a top-down game. I mean, I was okay with the original 2 Grand Theft Autos. I had them on my computer, but I didn't like the top-down graphics. I was like, man, you just have to know how to turn right and left to right. It's just weird looking from top down. And they said, no, man, you have to see this. So I went over to their house one day. I was like, holy crap. It was so amazing. These cutscenes, this movie, this story they could tell now. And that's the thing. I feel blessed that I grew up with Pong. And I have seen literally every step of the way of where computer graphics and games have gone.
I feel blessed as well with that.
Yeah, I mean, because yes, I agree. I would tell my, if I were right there next to a 7-year-old playing new stuff on a PS5, and they said, man, and then I showed them PS2, and they said, man, that stuff sucks. I'd be like, well, yeah, if you compare it to this, but I grew up with this first, so I appreciate what this brought you. This brought you PS5. If they hadn't have done this, you wouldn't have gotten PS5.
That's
I mean,
true.
that's the thing. So it's like I got to
Yep.
see that. So my great grandmother, when man walked on the moon, which was like the last guy walked on the moon like 4 years before I was born. So I still have never in my lifetime seen that. I don't think any of us have actually. Maybe I don't know.
On this panel.
But my mom tells me a story that when it happened in '69, my great grandmother was right there next to her, watching this man, Neil Armstrong, walk on the moon, and my mom said one of the two things. I can't remember exactly the full story. My grandmother was either crying or had a tear in her eye. My mom asked, "Well, what's wrong?" And she says, I remember traveling this country in a covered wagon, and I just watched a man walk on the moon. I am too old. And I kind of sit back and think about, I guess the thing I have to equate to that is I've watched all these games, these graphics. We went from never knowing we had these. This is Star Trek. This is stuff I watched on the original Star Trek series.
Yeah.
The fact that I have Bluetooth is original Star Trek series. These things, I mean, we're technologically speaking, we advance as much as the moon landing to 1980. We do that every 5 minutes, I think they say now. We go from the ability to land on the moon to things like the space shuttle.
Yeah, we haven't been
5 minutes. No, we haven't. And that's why a lot of people think, oh, we didn't go to the moon. It isn't that. We walked away from the rocket program. The rocket program is what got us there. And then people said, is there a way we can cut the cost? Well, how do we cut the cost? We get something that can return to Earth that within a relatively short amount of time, we put it back out, which was the space shuttle. Well, they have turned that technology over to things like SpaceX and stuff, which now can launch a rocket, and parts of that rocket can come back and be reused. So we've gone back to the ability to do a rocket program. That's what's going to get us to the moon again, probably in the next 2 to 3 years. And we will probably have some sort of transport vehicle that can make it to Mars probably in the next 5. Now,
yeah, that's the difficult part, because at this point we're still reliant on the orbits.
Well,
right,
and that takes time. That's the thing. It's 3 months there, no matter what we do. The fastest thing we probably will ever come up with in the next 5 years will still be like 3 months, much like the movies show. That will probably never change that 3-month trajectory, because you have to rely on gravitational pulls, slingshots, and things like that. But the plan is, I think I'd have to get Elihu in here because he's the science guy. I watch this stuff.
Yeah,
but
Elihu. He's cool.
Oh, he is. I love Elihu's a great guy. So I think that the hope is within 5 years we'll have the vehicle that can get us there. The problem we don't know
For All
is
Mankind, and I get excited. Like all the things that we've missed out on being able to do because we've held ourselves back.
And that's the thing. Well, it was for cost. There was a lot of reasons why we did it. But in 5 years, we were supposed to have the vehicle that can get us there. And they'll probably test it out, take it out there, drop off a lander, probably remotely, and see if it comes back. Because the one thing that we as humans don't want to do, and yet we are asking people to volunteer for this right now, is send somebody to Mars with the possibility and the thought that we will never be able to bring them back. But we are asking astronauts right now to train for that very mission. The first manned mission to Mars, no matter how much testing we do, will be very much a mission of questions. It'll
a lot
be
of
much
people
like
have signed up, but not everybody has the fortitude to
no.
go to
Well, that's the thing. You have to go through testing. So I went through a lot of testing in the military and things like that. I don't even know if I could have done it. I definitely not now. I'm too old. I mean, there's an age range that they're always going to look for. And we have places on Earth that we use to simulate Martian existence and stuff like that. But it's not the point of living there and figuring out how to live or put habitat or something that somebody can survive in for a month or 2 months or however long they think it has to be between the time they would have to launch again.
If it's a one-way mission, people are going to want to have their families.
That's the thing. They won't be able to do that. But we're going to be able. We're going to be asking them to sign up for a one-way mission. Possibly. That's not going to be the intention, but we have to expect that. So really the mission to Mars, it could be the first mission where we don't bring somebody back, which means it would be the first casualty in space.
Hopefully that is not the case.
Well, they're not going to want that, and they're going to do everything they can to do it. But we are on the precipice of something. I think that's the thing that I'm going to see in my lifetime. Before I
learn
die,
how to make potatoes with their poop. Wait, what was that movie? The Martian.
That's The Martian, and that's
with Matt Damon.
I'm going to tell you, those movies, The Martian, The Red Planet, and Mission to Mars. Mission to Mars is Disney, so it's kind of fluff, but there are parts of it that are very realistic on how they think they will have to do it. They think that. So, big picture here. This is. Because we were kind of taught this in the military, just future thoughts of the United States government and world governments is that if we can get to Mars, we can terraform Mars, because Mars is the closest thing to Earth that we found. We know that there was water there.
It doesn't have a magnetosphere. It won't have an atmosphere for very long, even if we can generate one.
But they think they can create that. So that's another side of this. Can we come up with? Go ahead. Go.
Want to put a pin on that just for a few minutes. I'm going to catch up with the chat here. Old Man Bird says, I can't even escape the police, but I love watching the GTA 5 cutscenes. A funny yet ripping story.
It was.
Night Breeze. In the early 90s, it was amazing to play on a 19-inch.
Oh, you were balling then.
Nice. My first 13-inch hand-me-down TV smelled like smoke, and it had a JCPenney logo on it. Oh, that's cool.
I tried to buy my brother Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, but I had just turned 18, and the store clerk did not believe me that I was 18 and I didn't have my ID yet.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry, Jill. DJ Play Nice. In junior high, a friend of mine lived in what was formerly a Lutheran, hopefully I'm saying that right, sorry, church. The living room was the sanctuary, and on the days, there was 7-foot projection TV hooked up to an Atari 2600 Mega Mania. Rock on, dude.
That's a cool church.
Yep, that is awesome. Omen Bird, if you have a TV sitting on another TV that doesn't work, you might be a redneck.
Yes.
Jeff Foxworthy. He's a funny guy.
That was a true thing. You would put TVs on top of TVs because you'd look at it and go like, I ain't moving that.
Right.
TVs used to weigh 300 pounds.
Bonus says, I had an Atari 2600. Yard's Revenge is my favorite game.
That's a great game.
River
Raid.
River Raid. Or Maze Craze were my favorites on the Atari. I had E.T. on Atari, had no idea what I was doing. I don't think anyone else knew what they were doing either. Bone. It was so frustrating. Exactly. We're fired up to see how it aged about 5 years ago. Still Limburg. Okay.
Limburger cheese.
OG Xbox was underrated. It had a hard drive so you can rip music from your CDs and
That
listening
was
to them in the game.
so. I
Hey!
really quick. I
Okay.
had an Xbox, and my kids would play Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3,
Mhm.
and I had.
That's what I had to buy my
Dancer.
brother instead of GTA because I couldn't buy the Grand Theft Auto, so I had to
I
get
would-
him Tony Hawk.
So I'd let my kids play, but I would use the ability the Xbox had, which was to play the music on your hard drive during games, which I wish they'd bring back. I guess it's a licensing problem, which I can understand. But I had all of Elton John's greatest hits on there. I had Billy Joel. I had all these old hits on there. My kids played Tony Hawk that way. So the first time they played Tony Hawk where they couldn't hear that, they're like, I don't remember this soundtrack. And I was like, that's the dad I am. I made Tony Hawk a different soundtrack, and you think that's the soundtrack that was on it. Tiny Dancer and things like that. It's just
Wow.
that's what Xbox allowed you to do, and it was excellent. You can't do that on Xbox 360. You can't, and on Xbox One you can't. None of the new Xboxes you can do that with.
That's a
I
shame.
didn't know you could do
so-
that. I had to use my boombox to listen to music live.
No,
when I was
if
a
you
kid.
still have an Xbox, go back and look at it
No, I
because the
never
old
had an
Xboxes
Xbox.
will do it. And go buy one. It's worth
okay.
It's worth that alone.
Hi,
Sorry.
hi, King JB the Med. Hi, like button activated, me lady. Thank you so much, King Jamie. 50 Gizm says someone hacked my mom's credit card a few years back. Rented a car, drove to New York, got a traffic ticket, and they sent the bills and the fines to her.
Oh yeah.
To make a police report. I remember one time my mom got a notice that someone out of state bought $200 of groceries. My mom had to cancel the card after that.
Somebody
Yeah.
just did that with Walmart with my card. Like a week or two ago.
Damn.
But the funny thing is you know where I was when I got the alert that they were trying to charge stuff?
Mm-hmm.
At my bank. So I was in the bank and I said, somebody just bought something from Walmart.com and it wasn't me. I said, I need to fix this. And they're like, okay, let's just cancel the card. I was like, okay, let's do it. And did it right then. And luckily I got everything back without any problem. But man, that's
it sucks. I hope
That-
everything's okay with my friend BRSF Ventures. I'm assuming so, but hopefully he got everything squared. DJ Play Nice says, not a rumor, it was a landfill. There's a documentary about this, which
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That part of
Chris
it's
just
part of the
showed.
documentary. Yeah. Well, that was the thing. It wasn't a landfill originally. It was the desert, and then a landfill was put there, and they found that.
right. I run that equipment, says King Jimmy the Mad. Yep, that's it. After
We are way behind.
settling everything, Vanessa Place sent a refund check to my mom with it addressed to the guy who stole the card. LOL. What the hell?
It's crazy.
Damn. Dumb damn nerds are awesome. Yep. Yes, they are. Some of the other developers of 2600 Atari games were pretty good, and I could wait for them to be clearanced at KB Toys for $2 or $3.
Oh my god! I remember KB Toys. Does
yeah,
anybody remember
but
Aladdin's Castle?
No, KB Toys is like, for me, it's like the version of Toys R Us.
That's what it was. Another one. But no, Aladdin's Castle was it was a arcade. We used to go in there, and you would buy $10 of quarters, and it was a power move to walk in on these groups of people playing like Mortal Kombat. And what you put your quarters down to be the next person up, right? If one or the other lost. So it was a power move to take that $10 roll and just smack it down on the thing. Like, I'm going to kick your ass right now.
Yeah, every, Chuck E.
cute.
Cheese, for example, which haven't been there in a long time. Haven't been there since I was a kid.
It's not so much gaming normal games anymore. It's all teaching kids to enjoy gambling.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now it's like ghetto place now where parents get into fights.
Yeah.
I went today though. I went today though because they do have a little trampoline place for my daughter to play in, and so I let her play in the trampoline place. And
how old's your daughter?
We didn't even play. She's only 6, and she graduated from kindergarten today.
Congratulations!
Very nice.
I was thinking, well, she was upset. We didn't make any tickets to buy those crappy toys, and I was like, "What? I'll get you
You're
a better
right. It's
toy."
that is a complete racket.
Well, what are you like? I have to say, like Dave and Buster's is a little bit better than Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Well, Dave and Buster's is Chuck E. Cheese for grown-ups.
It is. It's for those of us who grew up.
And they actually,
okay.
Though Dave and Buster's actually has those classic games. You could play Donkey Kong and some old stuff like that.
Hold on a minute. Let me
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When we get first to the chat here.
We got it too. Right now.
I was a kid when the first one came out. Pong already. Atari is still around in name only. Some foreign entity brought them out to cash in on nostalgia. Interesting. If they made Pong today, it would have a battle pass. Who knows? As a child, I used to play Atari and Nintendo games. As an adult, I had a Wii. Right on.
Yes. In early college years, yes, I remember playing Wii.
SpaceX sucks already. Facts. The cheapest cell phone now is bigger than my first PC. We had an Espion Equity. Yes, thank you, Joe. 1.640K RAM with extended 1 MB hard drive. Okay, that's a lot.
Epsons weren't the best.
That's a picture.
Yeah, that's huge. I was a land surveyor, for 25 years. Spent a lot of years surveying a route to bring fiber optics to Verizon Wireless for the Android. Remember the commercials? I helped route your cyborg life. Wow, that's amazing.
Well, thank you very much, King Jamie.
Thank you.
That is fancy.
Don't want Musk involved. Didn't the Trump administration refund NASA? Don't know. I'm not going to get really into that. Thanks for putting up my channel up, Bone. Says King Jamie the Mad. Thank you, Bone.
Yeah.
I also had a Coco with tape, but we had the Espion first. All right.
I would hope that they just cut the stuff that didn't matter, like all that climate change research, and put more stuff into the things that do matter.
Yeah. Where's my favorite kitty at? I miss
meow, King Jamie.
Miss Missy Moore Kitty. I love you, babe. Hope all is well. Meow meow.
Sure, put your camera down more.
Ew, why would I do that? I don't want to blind people and break their cameras.
Oh, whatever.
I had a VIC 20 without any drive, but it had a 16 KB RAM expansion cartridge, basic.
Those expansion cartridges were awesome.
And 6502 programming already.
Whoa, basic programming. That's old.
Going to move to Mars. I'm sick of all of the traffic here on Earth.
You're just going to traffic up there.
Perla says, Jill, I don't believe you're over 18.
Oh, get out of here. I'm celebrating 40 this December.
She's 21. Thank you very much. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy alcohol.
Yeah. I'm willing to let as many people move off my planet as are willing.
That's the idea.
Sounds fantastic.
As long as we can get rid of the people that we don't want here.
A lot of people have signed up.
They will. They will probably set off something to, get us after they leave.
I remember Aladdin's Castle. We had Pinball Pete and a few others as well.
Yes.
Spent $20 playing the 6-spot X-Men game.
Yep.
Night Breeze says, "Congrats to your daughter, Jill." Yay!
Thank you, Night Breeze. Yeah, she's adorable.
Welcome to my world. Trying to catch up on the chat. Same here. LOL Gorilla. Did someone say 1.21 gigawatts?
1.21 gigawatts? The only thing that can cause that is a bolt of lightning. What? A bolt of lightning.
she misread it. The computer had 640, 640K RAM. Sorry about that, Night Breeze. Hello, howdy, free side. Welcome. Great seeing the top of Moira's head.
Yes.
Almost caught up, Missy Lady Ma'am. Yes, I'm
Yes.
all caught up with the chat
All right.
now.
Now let me tell you this story. First, Chuck E. Cheese opened in the United States, out in California, on May 16th, I think, of 1977. So around the time I was born, I'll just say that much.
He was still a rat.
What?
He started off as a rat.
Yeah, he was pretty much a rat. Yes.
Now he's a mouse.
But after the third one opened, and I think it was in 79, a fourth and the first quote-unquote franchised Chuck E. Cheese opened. But the guy did not like the animatronics, so he found this guy down in Florida that created new animatronics for him, and he opened up a place called Showbiz Pizza. Now, Showbiz Pizza, the first Showbiz Pizza, opened up 2 blocks from my grandmother's house, and the house I grew up in from 7 until through high school. And that Showbiz Pizza was opened in 1980, and I went there all the time. And I feel very special to say that I was at one of the first quote-unquote Chuck E. Cheeses in the world. And it became Chuck E. Cheese after Showbiz sold back to Chuck E. Cheese. But
because
but we were where the first franchise actually was happening from Chuck E. Cheese, because it started out in California and then it jumped here.
Well, Chuck E. Cheese was formerly known as Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got renamed to Showbiz Pizza.
No. Showbiz Pizza was a secondary person who bought into the franchise.
And so they merged.
And then they had 2. So they still had Chuck E. Cheese in the West Coast, but Showbiz Pizza started here. And so they had 2 competing. The difference is that he still paid a franchise fees to own Showbiz. But because he chose different animatronics, he was allowed to call it something else.
Right. And
then once it went out of business, Chuck E. Cheese bought all of those back.
So Chuck E.
I remember seeing the stage in Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid.
Yeah. So it got renamed Chuck E. Cheese Pizza, and then they got rid of the pizza at the end. Now, so it's just called Chuck E. Cheese.
And they got rid of the freaking show.
That show was creepy, though. That show was fucking weird.
It was, but still,
that's what.
Listen, if I can't emotionally traumatize my kids in those places, like I was emotionally traumatized, then that's not right.
Generational curses, right there, buddy. Goddamn.
That's what I'm saying. It's like.
After filing for bankruptcy in 1984, Pizza Time Theater was acquired in May 1985 by Brock Hotel Corporation, the parent company of competitor Showbiz Pizza Place. Following the acquisition, Showbiz Pizza Place Inc. was renamed to Showbiz Pizza Time Inc., which began unifying the 2 brands in 1990, renaming every location Chuck E. Cheese Pizza.
But
so there you go.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the thing is, for the most part, I think we're all around the same age here.
Mm-hmm.
We lived in a world that literally the whole idea of our parents was, how can I traumatize my kids so they're stronger? We live in a world now.
A terrible attitude. And plus the selfishness of saying things like, well, I had to suffer like this and this, so why shouldn't you? And it's like, why would you want your kids to suffer? You're supposed to want the next generation to be better and better.
Because here's the rule. My mom and dad drove me crazy.
No,
wait, no, time out. I drove my parents crazy when I had kids because they're grandparents. They spoil my kids, so they drive me crazy.
Right.
And I tell my kids, when you have kids, I'll spoil your kids, so they drive you crazy. It is a vicious cycle. Live with it. It's how it is. And if I had to suffer, you're going to have to suffer.
See, and I think that is terrible. I think that's actually terrible. I mean, there's some things that will build character, but some things.
Okay, listen, you know what? I'm going to quote The Lion King.
Oh, God.
It's the circle of freaking life.
I don't think it's supposed to involve that much trauma, though. Like, I try to think about the things right and wrong my parents did, and I try to
listen.
adjust it differently.
My youngest, when he gets married, I'm going to get up there on the microphone. I'm going to give him a speech, and that speech is going to talk about when he was 5 years old and he ate the ass end of a candy duck and put it back in my freaking refrigerator and acted like it never happened. I'm going to say, you ate the ass of a duck and put it back in the refrigerator.
That is funny.
And you know what? That's trauma. That's trauma. And he deserves every bit.
Be able to take the trauma.
Maybe. I don't know.
The chances are better.
You can only parent your kids so much. You make sure they don't kill themselves, but for the most part, you let them explore. If my kid can climb a tree, I'll let them climb a tree.
Oh yeah.
They have to learn by themselves eventually.
Yeah, because I believe everybody's allotted a certain amount of stupid in their life. And if you don't let them do it periodically through time, when they turn 21 and they're free to go do whatever they want, they're gonna.
No, you're right. That's absolutely true.
And so with me, I try to let her do her little bit of stupid here and there safely, so that way she's not, dead and ditched somewhere.
I always told my kids, I'm like, if you're at a party I always said, listen, tell me what you're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you why you shouldn't do it. Right. But if you tell me that you're thinking about doing it, and I tell you why not to do it, and then you still go and do it because I told you not to, and you're like, well, hell, if Dad said not to, it's got to be fun. At least if you get picked up by the cops and I get a phone call, or you're stuck someplace and I know why you're there, I'll come and I'll help you. I told my kids, but if you don't tell me and you still go do it, do not call me. I will not come and save your ass. I said, but if you're honest with me and you ask questions and I tell you why I wouldn't do it, but you still go do it, at least I know you went through the process. And you said, Dad's stupid. What does he know? And I go and do it. And then I find out, oh shit, I'm in jail. Who do I call? Now you can call me. And I'm going to go like, well, didn't I tell you not to do that? Okay, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
I try to be honest with Dee Dee. I figure maybe the silly things I've done in my life can be an example of what not to do. Because to hear a lesson from somebody who's never been there, has never done that.
But the thing is kids inherently, and I don't know, Jill, how old are your kids now? You said 6 and what?
6 and 11.
Okay, so you haven't gotten into this quite yet. You're about 2 years from your son going stupid. And I'm just going to tell you.
Well, he's working on it. He's working on it.
Yeah, exactly. Because what happens is they go to sleep. No. This is the truth. And I say this about myself too. They go to sleep one night and their brain slides out their feet. They're laying down and the next thing you know, their brain's gone. And they get stupid. They get girl crazy. They do all this stupid stuff. I'm just telling you, it's going to happen. And this is coming from a guy, so just take it as.
I think I'm already there, but I don't know.
Well, you're getting there. But here's the thing. I didn't have any girls, so I don't know this for sure. But kids always are going to look at their parents when they say, "Don't do this," and they look at it as like, "Well, if you say not to, why shouldn't I?" Even if you give them a valid reason.
Sometimes
every kid has done
that has a gender. I think that's just depending on the kid.
It is. But
I can already tell they don't care what you tell them to do. They care what you do, and they emulate.
My kid was 8, and he had never in his life done the fork in the wall outlet. Never. I didn't approach it to him. I was like, why tell him about this if he's not going to do it? 8 years old. I'm in my room. He's over in his room with his brother. And next thing I know, I see the lights go zoom, and he had stuck 2 wires into the thing, and they popped. He didn't get hurt, but they was a poof, and he was like, ah!
I used a fork.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Butter knife.
But at 8 years old, I'm sitting there, and my girlfriend at the time was like, did he put something into the outlet? I'm like, he's 8. I said, he's never done that before. Why would he do it now? And his older brother looks at me and says, he put these 2 wires in there. And I'm like, what? I looked at him and I said, what the hell are you doing this at 8 years old? You're supposed to do this like 6 years ago or something. It's like
it's in his brain. He was like, I wonder what happened if I stick this in there. Well, you're about to find out, kiddo.
Yeah, but I mean,
you're about to meet Jesus.
There's nothing that I feel as a parent, and as Maury said, you tell your kids why I wouldn't do it, what I did. You can talk about stupid things. I talk about stupid things I did all the time now. But kids have to learn on their own.
Yes.
And all you have to do is be ready for the moment that they do it. And all you can hope for, like I said, told my kids, hey, if you're going to go do something and you're not sure, or if you feel like it's not the right thing to do, talk to me.
Right.
It doesn't tell them that they can't go do it. They're going to do it whether or not I tell them not to or not. But at least I have a clue that if I get a phone call at 2 a.m, hey, we picked your son up. He's here at the police station. I'm ready for it.
Right.
Well,
like for instance, go ahead.
At least you weren't the one who got a phone call early in the morning. Well, let's just say my brother is at a bar and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was just enjoying himself drinking. He didn't get really drunk. He was just casually drinking with my sisters. And some douchebag who was drunk came over and smashed him with a bottle.
Yeah.
My brother had to go to the hospital for that. So that was the call my parents got in early hours of the morning.
Now, you see, I broach subjects with my 2 boys, like condoms. Like my son, my oldest son, he'd leave the house. I said, do you need a condom? I was upfront. I was bold-faced right there about it. I'm not going to, and you know what? I tell people, I don't know if my kids had sex or not. If they did, I was always there to say, if remember, a condom, if you need one, I got one.
Right.
And because I've always felt that if you act like they're not doing it, you're blind. Kids, and I remember this from
blindsided. Yeah,
well,
that makes sense.
When I was a kid, I know what I did. I know all the stuff I did. And I also told my kids, you're screwed because you're never going to sneak out of this house, because I army crawled into my dad's room, stole his keys to his truck that I would drive during the day, but at night, like at 2 a.m. in the morning, I'd go army crawl into his room, take his keys, army crawl out, army crawl down the freaking hall, go outside, click the key into the first position, pull it down into neutral, literally push a 1-ton truck over a bump out into a state highway, push it down a block and a half down the road because it had glass packs on it, and then start it and drive off. I said, you are never getting out of my house without me knowing. And they never did.
I hear that.
Yeah, man.
But the thing is I made sure my kids were safe. I know the things my kids have done. Most of the time, they told me about it relatively quickly, or at other times. But I feel like as a parent, you just need to be upfront and honest with your kids. Hey, you're not going to listen to me. I know you're not going to be listening to me, and maybe that's not every kid. This is not a blanket statement.
It's possible. I still have a modicum of control over them and what they do.
That's true. But just understand.
But I know I'm going to start to lose it over time. But I do want to make sure we say goodnight to DJ Play Nice. He's got to roll out.
Yeah, like gotta roll out. Thanks for hosting, Raquel. You rock. y'all be safe, have fun, take care of yourself and your crew, and rock. Thank you, DJ.
Thank you,
Play
DJ Play Nice. Hey, DJ Play Nice, really quick. Look me up right here if you're still here. Look me up right here on Twitter. If you have Twitter or X or whatever the hell they call it now, and message me, please. I have a question for you here. Off
and yes,
stream
he was
later.
a real DJ.
No, I was a DJ too, but that's kind of why I want to ask him about something. But yeah, if he can message me, that'd be great.
Right on. Oh, if anyone's wondering, my brother's okay. Like, he just went to the hospital. He's fine. That was like a couple of years ago. Also, I was one of those kids that stupidly, for some odd reason, this is like years and years and years and years and years ago when I was a kid. I stupidly stole my dad's credit card to buy something. Holy shit, that was a mistake.
Well, you see, but then again, back in the day when we were kids, you did that. It was so obvious who did it. Nowadays, you never know.
It's like one of those, like, I am never doing this again.
Are you leaving, Night Breeze?
Lots of hugs, Night Breeze.
All right, thanks for being
really
here,
quick.
Night Breeze. Have a great night. We're telling everyone, Chris and Moira, it was awesome to see you again.
Night Breeze, stay tuned on Honstar's channel. Name That Tune will be coming back again here relatively soon. Jill, Raquel, you guys are well invited to be contestants on Name That Tune if you want.
All right,
Moira.
awesome.
Moira is one of our regular contestants, and she'll tell you it's a grand old time. I hope. Please, Moira.
That is a ringing endorsement. Good night, Night Breeze.
Good night, Night Breeze. Thanks for coming. Also, like, with your PC, Chris, I had a similar experience with my iMac. Like, for some odd reason, I'm saying maybe my computer, not my laptop.
I haven't heard the name Honstar in years. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Well, so we keep his channel going. Raquel, go ahead and finish real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Or
So,
as long as it takes you. I'm sorry, not real quick. This is your stream. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So I was updating it, and for some odd reason, when it came back, there was nothing but a black screen. The only thing I can figure is, like, when I was updating the computer, I guess there was some kind of weird power surge because it was storming that night. And I tried to update it again, wasn't working. Tried to get into my settings to up the time machine, wasn't working. So my dad helped me take the computer to the Apple store, and they said the hard drive was fried. I'm like, fuck. Oh,
maybe.
Kitty. Oh, so cute. Oh, so kitty. Damn it, Moira, you know how to distract me. Oh, so cute. So adorable. Okay. But anywho, so the hard drive was fried, and I was like, well, fuck. There goes my computer. So I asked them, like, like, what can I do here? They said, like, I could replace the hard drive or get a new computer. And it's like, okay, how much is going to be for the hard drive? And they pretty much said it's going to be more than getting a new computer. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm not doing that. Because thankfully enough, I still had my old laptop. So I just synced my laptop to the new computer and I got all my stuff back. Thank goodness. Yeah. I had my old laptop.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I got it figured out. There's a few things that still need to be done to it, but it's working. I'm back on like this and stuff. But now to the
before that, I'm gonna catch up the chat real quick.
Yep, go ahead.
Well, here we are. Indeed. No, you're not. Here's another one.
The first time you caught up with the chat, and the girl
and another one.
And another one.
And another one.
And then,
Okay, I'll
DJ
shut up.
Khaled. DJ Khaled.
LOL.
And another one.
Showbiz was awesome. Yeah, Showbiz. Chuck E. Cheese was lame. I was 70s kid. You better bring some pretty cool, and Showbiz was creepy too.
Oh yeah,
LOL,
creepy.
joke, bro. I remember when my
creepy
dad...
for a long time. It'd take a long time for them to
both
get rid of the animatronics.
I love the animatronics, but yeah, I do agree with you. When I first saw the animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese, I was just so weirded out.
Yes, the pitcher of beer. Listen, beer is what makes parents last at Chuck E. Cheese or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
You walk into that place, you're like, waiter, like,
beer.
right here, please now.
Well, since all the kids were at school today, it was actually oddly peaceful at Chuck E. Cheese today.
Was it?
So weird. It was just little toddlers, little babies playing.
That works.
It was really
That's
cute.
interesting. I remember when my dad could get a pitcher of beer at Showbiz. LOL.
You can still buy beer at Chuck E. Cheese. They haven't got rid of that yet.
But
They got rid of the animatronics. They
I'm
got
sure
rid
I
of the
found
animatronics.
elitist about this.
No fucking wonder they have fights at Chuck E. Cheese with the parents.
Well, yeah, because the parents have to drink insanely tons of alcohol to last. They're like,
See, I always thought that was like, I always had an elitist view on that because I always like, do these parents not like spending time with their kids? They need to be drunk to do it. Like,
no, it's not that they don't want to spend time with their kids. It's the fact that their kids want to go to Chuck E. Cheese. And in order to spend time with their kids, they have to go to Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese is the problem.
Okay, using Chuck E. Cheese to traumatize your kids is basically why I smoke in the car. LOL joke. I don't smoke in the car, but that was funny. Made us.
Oh yeah, my grandma smoked, and I got her to roll the window down because I was like, "No, Grandma,
who
you're
smokes
not
with the window
hotboxing."
up? Who hotboxes that shit?
Hotboxing. Hotboxing is such a 90s term. It's like, it ages you. It's like, I think I said that to my kid the other day, and he's like, "What's hotboxing?" I said, "Have you ever sat in a car and just puff past?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "That's hotboxing." He's like, "Really?" I don't know what they call it now, but it's something completely different.
Just make your kids lunch 2 days before so the cheese is sweaty. That's about far enough, mister. See if the baby survives the winter like a Spartan. LOL. Damn.
Just saying sweaty cheese. That's like, what in the world is sweaty cheese?
I left my eggs in the car for 4 hours. I'm risking things, and then I ran out and got
Oh my god.
It's sealed. It should be fine.
Oh my god. I think I watched a YouTube video. And this is totally legit. I have to find it sometime, but this is totally legit. Apparently, there's a police report on this. Apparently, a overweight guy rolled up to a fast food drive-thru, and he wasn't wearing pants either. The only thing he was wearing was cheese.
What?
No, I'm like, what? Wait a minute. You gotta be kidding me. This guy rolled up to a drive-thru at a fast food place, not wearing pants, but he had cheese on his dick.
That's like the type of people who used to come into Wendy's when I worked fast food and would swear that we sold tacos. And I'd be like, sir, we've never sold tacos. Ma'am, we've never sold tacos. I don't know. How graphic can they get on this stream?
They have taco salad. That's the closest thing that Wendy's have.
Chris, like, if you want to know, like, mild spice.
Okay. So when I worked there, back in the day, we had the little box that sat over the side. If you worked in the drive-thru, the A button talked to the outside, the B button talked to everybody in the restaurant at Wendy's. And normally I was on the speaker and at the register taking the orders, but this guy was there one day, and he gets the lady's order, and he gets on what he thinks is B button, but he actually hit the A button. after she's done and says, "Yeah, with a big fat D in your mouth." Needless to say, that was his last day. And we got all a talking to about if we're going to play around and talk on the speaker thing or the B button, we better make sure we hit the B button when we say these things. That was a I was going to say Honstar. So Honstar is an engineer.
Yep.
Railroad. And his
remember he has lots of pop.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know,
he sold a fair bit of them. He said. I don't know how many.
Funko
I
Pops.
think he still.
He has a lot of Funko Pops.
That's it. Thank you.
He has some still, but I don't know how many. And
last time I saw it, he had like a whole wall of Funko Pops.
He still has quite a few, but I think he sold most of them. I mean, he used to have like 3 walls worth.
Wow.
But Han's doing well. But like for instance, Deej Odyssey and myself, several years ago, so around the time, unfortunately, JJ, those of you who knew JJ,
Rest in peace. Yes, I remember
he died.
all this.
Yeah, so he died, and Honstar kind of stepped back, and I kind of said to Honstar, I says, "Well, do you want me to continue in that tune?" He says, "If you want to, you can." He said, "But why don't you put it on your channel?" And he asked Deej to do the same thing. And Deej and I, years ago, told Han, "No, that is not our show. We will do it, but it stays on your channel." And it stays there. And it will be back on Honstar's channel. I have access to his channel on StreamYard, so I put it on there. And he said, "Oh, you can put it on yours." I'm like, "No." So if I do a weekly wrap-up on the Real Review 3000, I will also do a Honstar Sunday Fun Day. So on his channel, it's Sunday Fun Day. On my channel, it's the weekly wrap-up, but I do it on both channels. That's the only thing I do simulcast. But if it's Name That Tune, it's only on his channel. But we will be back to that. And I will get back with all you guys about that. Moira could probably tell you more about that.
When all that happened, I was very new to streaming.
But that's still been like, what, 3 years ago now?
Yeah. I've been streaming for 3 years.
I had to look the last time.
Yes. No, that's
JJ.
exactly right. Well,
yeah, because JJ texted me the night before he died, and I actually know exactly when it was.
Oh no.
Well, it was sad because we were supposed to talk that night. He didn't talk to me, and I don't want to get into particulars about what happened, but he died, and he was not found right away.
No, the last time, like the last words he said, like I said to him, was "Happy Thanksgiving," and he said, like, and he said, right, the same thing right back to me. That was the last time I ever heard of him.
This is his last post on Twitter.
So here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you guys about this. I did one the other night. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. JJ had a stream called Randomness at Its Finest. And he'd do it whenever, and sometimes he'd tell you about it, sometimes he wouldn't. I did one the other night. We've done a few since he's died here and there. But I have told everybody, Tommy, I'd tell you, Jill, you, Raquel, you, Maura, if you ever feel the need to just go live randomly and you want to do a Randomness at Its Finest in JJ's honor or in his name, because that was his thing, I want to do it. And I want you to do it. If you want a thumbnail or something, I can make you one up. Like one, I made several of them for him, and actually, oh, hold on here, let me find.
I appreciate it, Chris.
Yeah.
But, however, like that is really JJ's thing, and I just don't want to like take over something that's really JJ's.
I agree. I feel like I'd be riding his coattails or standing on his
Well, that's not the point that I think, because I've always had the saying that nobody truly dies as long as their memory stays, and the only people who can keep the memory of a person alive is those people who knew
remembered, yeah.
And I look at it as a memorial, a remembrance of who he was, and I mean, you don't have to do it, but if you ever wanted to do one for him, do it.
I
I
don't
think
do
that's what
I don't
keeps
do
him
complete
alive.
streams of people like that, but every once in a while I'll look at what the day is, like, what
Mhm.
weird, crazy holidays that are randomly that they made up holidays,
Yeah.
And because Bird of Prey 5 used to do that a lot, and I miss him a lot. And we lost so many people last year.
Well,
a lot of
since I've
people.
done this, Markrell, he's gone. I used to stream with him a lot.
Let's see, pop culture creator passed away.
Yeah, last year we
Yep.
lost pop culture curator Clobberin Times and
Yep.
Bird of Prey 5. It was
Yep.
it was a sad summer.
Don't forget Cardinal Sin.
Yep.
And Cardinal Sin was the year before.
Yep.
And yes.
And son, I forget it. I know there's like two of them. Like,
There's JJ. When I first started, I remember that starting on going on streams with a guy called Admiral of Doom, and he died probably about 6 months after I started talking to him. And I mean, we're in a group of people, and maybe I can say this to you guys and to the people who will watch this. I started with a lot of people who have 600,000-700,000 subscribers now. Big channels that have forgotten about everybody smaller than them. My whole thought process is I remember everybody that I've done streams with, and everybody I've been affected by in different ways, but I don't ever want to forget these people. So I either try to do things for them or remember them in different ways. But the key is that we're a family, or we're friends, and your friends are family. And no matter who you are out there, if you do YouTube and you get 10,000, 1,000, 100,000, 1,000 subscribers, whatever, don't forget the people that you did these things with. I was told years ago, don't stream with people that have 100 subscribers. And I asked one time, well, why? Well, they only have 100 subscribers. And I was like, I don't care if they have 100 subscribers. I'm not doing this for placating people. I said, I want to do this because I'm having a good time. And if I find somebody that's a great person to talk to that only has 100 subscribers for whatever reason, because they don't try, because they're not worried about subscribers, or because maybe they just don't have the charisma. I know lots of people that are on YouTube that may not have an it factor. I don't give a crap about that. That's not the point. I have a good time with those people, and that's who I want to do things with. So I threw all that stuff out.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just found one person. Like, if I followed that rule, I wouldn't have made a new friend that I made recently. I made a friend with Jedi Master 2022, and he's wonderful, and he's a huge Lost in Space fan. He doesn't even have 100 subscribers yet.
Well, that's fine.
Exactly. I just want to mention, like, I hope I'm not getting the name wrong. Is it Joe? Is it Son of the Red Shirt? Or am I?
Son of a Red Shirt. Yes, Son of a Red Shirt was the first person I did a tribute video.
Son of the Red Shirt, and they call me Nobody.
Yes,
as well.
That's right. He did too, and he was on Name That Tune a few times.
Call Me Nobody was an incredible man. He had a lot of talent, and it's unfortunate
sad.
we don't.
I miss him. I miss everyone.
I have to go.
He knew how to live.
I have to get up
He
at
was like
4 in the morning.
All right, thanks for coming, Chris.
Jill, Maura, Raquel. I will try to keep eye on Discord a little more to make sure I can jump on these. I love being on stream.
Yes,
I can do it more.
I do want to explain that here in a little bit. But yes, like Discord, Twitter, Facebook, Yep.
But if you guys are interested in talking to me, my DMs are open and stuff right here on X at Chris Knight 5150. I think it's almost the same thing. It's Chris Knight on Facebook, Instagram, Chaos Central. You can find me there also. I do Yeah, Chaos Central is my team channel. It's spelled with K, KHA. Yeah, so for Kansas City, KC, Chaos Central. But we do every Monday, except for the last Monday of the month. Sometimes we are on, sometimes we're not. But every Monday, for the first 3 Mondays, we have 3 different shows: the Chaos Conversation, the Chaos List, and the Rule of 3. That's on Chaos Central. And then I do things with like I don't know, the Masked Singer, gaming streams. I'll get back to that here soon. But I run shows like Name That Tune over on Hanstar's channel, Sunday Fun Day on Hanstar's channel, the weekly wrap up, which is on Sundays on my channel, the Gospel According to Chris, which is an interview segment that I do, and then I have something called the Rumble, which is we put 4 YouTubers against each other in a battle of wits and opinions, and then we throw in things like live lions and tigers just to see how it goes.
Well, and it's really great that you're starting back up.
Yeah, but I've done this for years. But anyways,
I know,
guys,
but your last live stream was like a year ago.
Well, actually, on this channel, on this channel, yes, I've done a bunch of shorts. The last shorts I did was like 2 weeks ago for the end of the Masked Singer this week, because that's all I was able to do. It was on my phone, and shorts was the easiest thing to do on my phone. And now that I have my computer, does that. But I actually did a live stream this past Monday on Chaos Central, the Rule of 3, first time in several years.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's looking forward to see more streams from you, Chris.
Well, you guys are always invited on things like on the weekly wrap up and Sunday Fun Day and Name That Tune and the Rumble. Those are always things. I'm always looking for more people that have opinions and want to have fun. And I would welcome you guys all. Everybody chat. If you don't do streams, you're welcome to come on.
How soon we're going to do like weekly wrap up again?
Very soon.
Very soon.
Maybe this weekend. I don't know. It just depends. Yeah, all right. I will let you know relatively soon. But I have all to the first 7 Jackboxes myself. Deej, if he comes on, has the other ones, so we can do it now. So I might be doing it here soon.
I'd love to see if you drag Deej into streaming again. He sometimes needs to be dragged in.
Oh no, he'll come on.
Good. I want to see more of him.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, don't tell him that too loud, or he'll oblige in ways you don't want him to oblige.
You can follow Chris Knight's channel, The Real Review 3000, right here on this comment that I'm showing.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
great
so
stream
much
with you guys.
For being here, Chris. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you very much.
Send me a
meow.
Meow
meow. Meow meow.
Bye, guys.
Later, Chris. All right, let's get back in the chat real quick. Thank you guys for being so patient. Bone says, I can hear the kitties in the background, Moria Kitty. Yes. Moria says, sorry about the cat noises in the background. They were so no. They were so adorable.
That was singing. They're beautiful.
Not all boys go stupid. I remembered what Grandpa said. My dad was a sergeant, and my boys know we don't lie, cheat, or hurt people first. Absolutely. They sound so cute. Oh, this is absolutely adorable. Oh, and don't do that shit that will kill you. LOL. Of course not. DJ?
Yeah, I just had that conversation with my 6-year-old. I was like, you don't have to put metal in the outlets, right?
Right.
Yeah. I watched a YouTube video about it. I was like, what YouTube video? What is my kid watching? But
JJ says he's gonna roll out. Gotta roll out. Thanks for hosting, Raquel. You rock. You'll be safe. Have fun. Take care of your crew and rock. Right on. Have a great night, Raquel, everyone. Chris and Moira, it was awesome to see you again. Says Night Breeze. Thanks for being here, Night Breeze. I need to lay down. Cool. I know I won't be the first to be sunk on NTT. Whatever that means.
Name that tune.
Oh, thank you, Moira.
Know what that was either. Good work, Moria.
Heart emoji, says Bone. Your eggs are fine, but if you're in doubt, just put them in cold water and they sink to the bottom. Then they are still good.
Yeah, that's what I do with my eggs if they've been on the counter for a while, because honestly, it really doesn't matter if they're in the.
Nope, there goes the kitties
Those
again.
kittens.
These kittens. Oh,
They keep mewing. I'm like, calm down, babies. I've had to mute this a lot, mostly for the fact they have been making a little ruckus.
They have a mama?
Oh yeah, the mommy had a lot of those kittens. She had a lot.
9 kitties.
What? She doesn't have enough teats for that. My goodness,
yeah,
I'm sorry for being graphic about
this. And they've been tearing.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Show.
Four gray tabbies, 3 black cats, and 2 orange tabbies.
I'm tempted to get one of the ginger kitties.
Can you get one shipped? I don't know how that works. By airplane?
Moira told me that I forget I forget the name of the cat. Moira escapes me for the moment.
Which one?
The one with the kitties.
Oh, Nuki?
Yeah, Nuki. Thank you. Yeah, Nuki. Moira was telling me that Nuki, the mother, kind of growls at the babies because they're teething. The claws and stuff. So her little tummy is a little bit effed up.
Yeah.
But at least at that point, they can eat some solid food now. At that point,
I maybe, but she
no.
doesn't.
Are they not 8 weeks yet?
Because it's like she has 2 shifts of cats wanting to eat at any given time. That poor girl.
Oh, how old are the babies?
Yeah, how old are they?
God.
Oh no.
I don't remember. I mean, their eyes are open now, and they can barely walk.
Oh, that's too young. That's too young to eat food.
If they're okay, hold on. If they're kittens.
Do you buy like kitten formula
to
help her out?
I tried to give them formula to help give her a break, but they were just freaking out because they wanted her, and she was upset because she didn't know what I was giving them. So I let her try it, and she liked it. Unfortunately, she liked it so much that she chewed the plastic nipple off of the bottle.
Maybe try to hold the mama with the baby and then feeding the baby the milk at the same time.
Not in the mood to be held.
Let's see. They're crawling around, right, Moira? But they're still a little bit unstable.
Yeah, their little legs are shaking as they try to crawl around.
Right. So they're being a little bit more active, right? So I'm guessing.
Yeah, they're
around 4 weeks.
Crawling all over everything.
Well, let's see. They typically open their eyes and begin to take wobbly steps around 3 weeks old, but they're being a little bit more active. So I'm guessing they're around 4 weeks.
Probably.
Right. And it's so adorable. So adorable. Said, I just cracked one open and took a whiff. Thanks, Gorilla. Mild spice. No wonder I'm banned. Who said you were banned? you have a wrench, my dude. Whiff test isn't always a sign they're going bad. Sure enough, that's why you dunk them into water to see if they, float up or not. Bone says, JJ, prayers. Indeed. They call me Nobody Died? He was at Pops a few times. I guess you didn't know, Gorilla. Yes, they call me Nobody Did Pass Away last year, sadly. It was all a shock to all of us who knew They Call Me Nobody, and we miss him. Prayers to nobody. All right, we catch up on the chat here. I just wanted to say I do want to share things out here. Like I wanted to do it earlier, but I didn't really have the opportunity to. But I want to share it now. Let me just bring it up real quick.
Yeah, because Chris Knight was so much fun. He brought the entertainment there.
Definitely. It was fun. Alrighty. Alright, I want to like I just want to make sure people are aware of this. For the upcoming future for this channel and my gaming channel as well. So I just want to share this out real quick. So I'm updating some rules here. Live stream and panel link rules. Of course, you can't. Come on, I need to fix something. Okay, there you go. Live stream and panel link rules. I just want to make sure that people know this is not a kid-friendly channel. Okay, you gotta be at least 25 years old to participate, and keep everything like mid-spicy. That's all I ask. Please be mindful of the rules that are like posted in the YouTube channel description and the live stream description. I said this in the past, but I just want to get it out here, put it out here again. For now on, if people want to hop on the panel, those who are in my Discord server, can get on the panel, so to speak. It's the same for the people who are in my Twitter group as well. The link will be there. For people who are not in my Discord server or my Twitter group who want to be on the panel, reach out to me on DMs on Discord or Twitter or other means like Facebook or Instagram. Let me know. Also for new viewers / fans who would like to join on the panel, we'll have to go through a 3-month trial period. I'm sorry, that's just the rules. But however, you can still join my Discord server and my Twitter group thing as
How
well.
does that work exactly? If someone never been on the panel before, what does the 3-month trial entail exactly?
3-month trial is just like being, just be yourself and stuff like that. That's, all I can say at this time.
Okay, just like probationary period. Like you're invited on, but we're watching you.
No, not really.
I'm trying to figure this out. I don't understand.
It's just like a 3-month trial. Like, just be yourself and stuff like that. You can still like join my Discord server or my Twitter group chat.
Oh, okay. They got to be in the chat for 3 months before they get on the panel. That makes sense.
Yeah. That's basically what I'm saying. Okay. I know sometimes things can get crazy and stuff like that. I understand that. But also there are people that are like out of this world crazy. But I just want to make sure if people are being rude, very drunk, and being disrespectful and not following these rules, depending on the severity of those breaking of those rules, you'll be getting these violations. One is you'll be getting a warning. 2 will be time out for a day. 3 will be timed out for a week. Last, you will be banned, and that will be not overturned. So for safety reasons, for any like potential rule breakers, these are like the rules here.
That's much nicer than I suggested. I told her just tell them 3 strikes and they're out. And if anybody drops stuff that would make even like George Carlin blush, there's a chance I will ban them to the Shadow Realm myself.
Right. So these are like the updated rules I'm putting in place for this channel of now, like today now. So just want to make sure like everyone like gets like the heads up with this. Yeah. So hopefully I don't have to like ban anyone because that'll be sad. But yeah, I just want to like make sure everyone knows like if any rule breaking is happening, depending of the severity of it, you'll get like one of these uh violations. Because in the past, there's just been a lot of craziness, and I just, don't want a repeat of that. So that's why I'm updating some stuff that I have been meaning to update for quite a long while.
And it's not necessarily because of people at this channel, because we
No.
how people have acted at other channels in general, and we want to kind of just not encourage that here.
No, we don't. Definitely not.
So just in case anybody wondered if they had missed some drama, that's not it.
Yeah.
This is a preemptive thing. We don't want anything crazy to happen.
No, we don't. Also, for my Discord, let me another slide. I just want to get a clear picture here with my Discord. Important note from joining my main Discord server. There's been some confusion, so I just want to like clear this up for folks. When you join my server, you will be asked. You'll be shown to answer a question before joining the server. First is agree to the rules. 2, answer 3 questions, and 3, click submit. And then I'll get a notice for your application, and I'll get back to it as soon as possible. Once you get the notice that I accept your application, you'll have like to go through like a questionnaire kind of thing. It's a fun questionnaire to more interaction based, like fun interaction based kind of questions in the server. Yeah, it's like sorry, I lost my place here. So before you freely interact in the server, you have to reread the rules again and answer 4 fun interacting questions in a number order. And once you get that done, you're officially a member of the server, and you can freely interact with people in so said server. Hopefully that clears up any confusion that people were having about the Discord server and stuff. And last and not least, I just want to get to my gaming channel, because there's also been confusion with that as well. You don't have to read all this, but if you want to, you go ahead. It's basically somewhat the same. But with my main channel. But the one thing I want to put out there for new viewers and fans who would like to hop on and play a video game with me during my live stream, must go through a 3-month trial off stream to able to join. So please don't ask if you can join in while I'm streaming in the live chat, because it's distracting. Yes, I would really like to play with you. Just don't ask in the live chat if you could join in, because it's really distracting. But if I would really like to play like a game with you guys, just give me a message, give me a heads up, and we'll plan something out. That's all I ask.
Night bone.
Night bone. No, there's just confusion with my gaming profile. Just want to put it out there. This is my gaming profile, my main profile, as you see here. Raquel SSG 2211 is in yellow, and my gaming profile is Raquel SSG 2211 Gaming. There are some platforms like PlayStation and Twitter. I have to shorten the name to Raquel SSG 2011 G in the end, and the profile pic is blue. Just want to put it out there. Main profile is yellow. Gaming profile is blue. And yeah, that's all I wanted to get out there. Just to clear up any confusion and stuff like that. Lillian Pye says, thank you for streaming, Raquel. Lillian Pye says, thanks for coming on panel, Moira and Jill. Bona says she's going to bed. I have to wake up early. Good night. Thanks
night,
you guys for coming. I haven't done this and it's been I think 4 months. I think it's been a long time. I will definitely. I think we should do this definitely again. Maybe sometime next month, hopefully. Yes. Sorry we couldn't do any Divas and Dorks this week. Hopefully we'll get back on track. Not next week, but the following week.
Well, but this was kind of like a Divas and Dorks. It was just us girls and one guy, so that was almost like that, except we didn't have topics and articles. It was like
I guess you could say it was kind of like that. Oh, there's something I wanted to check out. This new feature StreamYard put in. It says, is it apparently this isn't still in beta mode, but it's a chat overlay. I'd like to see how it is. Like, I'm gonna test it out. See how it is. Show comments on stage. All right, toggle on. Nothing. Somebody put something in the chat.
Something.
Testing. Oh, there it is. Right in the corner. It's really small, like, too. Something. Testing. Couldn't they make it a little bigger, though? I mean, it's still in beta mode, but, couldn't just make it a little bit bigger, though? Because that's really small to read.
My God, StreamYard can do this now. This is great for gaming. Hell yes! This is awesome. I didn't see this. Oh, damn.
Well, it's still in beta mode, Jill, but like they should make the text and the profile pic a little bigger because that's kind of tiny.
That's pretty rad. No, thank you, Raquel. I didn't know about this. It is tiny.
I didn't know either until tonight's stream. I didn't know about it till tonight's stream, Jill. It needs to be a little bit bigger, though. It needs to be a little bigger, for sure. It's too small. But it looks cool, though. It's just the overlay needs to be a bit bigger. It's just too small.
I agree. But it's still kind of rad. I can't wait to play Fallout. I'm gonna let that roll on my next Fallout stream.
Well, it says like beta, so it's still in beta mode. So it's still
it might be buggy, but I'll give it a try.
Still needs to be improved upon and stuff like that. But hey, I'm like, if this is
exciting.
It is exciting.
That's not nothing.
Oh, like maybe like sometime soon, maybe you'll have like intermission button available on StreamYards. Because that would be great. Because Twitch has it. Like, I don't see why not.
I don't know. I've never played Twitch, but there are workarounds using OBS to do those kind of things on YouTube. But it would be great if StreamYard provided it.
Indeed, like StreamYard's getting better as it go. as time goes along and stuff like that. But we're gonna call it a night. Like we're like at 2 hours and almost 30 minutes here. So thank you for everyone for being here. Thank you for Jill, Chris Knight, and Maura being here tonight. And I want to say thank you to Old Man Bird, Lemon Pie, Night Breeze, DJ Play Nice, the lovely Sherry, It's a Trap Projections, Gorilla Sensor Thoughts, Sunflower, Mikey Sues 4, Shifty Gizm, George Lucas, did we? No. Nope. Bone. Yep, Bone. King Jamie the Mad. And I think that's everybody. Hopefully, I'm not missing anyone. I don't think I am. Oh wait, yes, Freeside. Thank you for being here tonight. I almost forgot about you. Is anyone else we're forgetting? There was someone else. Oh yes, Sashi. Sashi, thanks for being here tonight. And I think that's everybody. I think.
Yeah, we had a great listeners tonight. Great panelists. Really enjoyed listening to Chris Knight talk about stuff. I'm glad. I know I guess he's been around, but now I get to see him more. That's so cool. You got him on today.
Yeah, like I'm, excited for him to get to do the weekly live stream again.
Yeah, I didn't even know he had a secondary channel. This was news to me. Chaos Central. I'll look that up later.
Oh yeah, if you guys want to look up on Chaos Central, let me get the link for you guys. Chaos.
Yeah, because usually whenever I promote somebody, if they have 2 channels, I like to promote both of them.
All right, here's Chaos Central for you guys.
And just make sure, is that actually Chris Knight though? How do you know it's still him? Yeah, I guess that is him. Okay.
All right, there's Chaos Central's channel right there. And that link, just put K, not a C, a K, HAOS Central. And you'll find the channel. That's where Chris goes sometimes with his buddies. Yeah,
right.
So definitely
yeah,
check it out.
Now I'll update my link list because I'll put Chaos Central there too.
Mm-hmm. Also check out Chris's channel as well. The Review 3000. And
well, yeah, seriously, I thought he dropped off the face of the earth because he didn't stream for a long time, but I didn't realize he had a secondary channel. Thank you, Raquel, for having him on.
Also, check out Jill's channel. Jill's channel is over here. And Anti-Reader Jill. She does hangout streams, aka Shore Leave, does gaming streams, talks about Star Trek, and also talks about like JR Token, Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. So definitely check her out. Also check out Moira's channel.
Thank you.
Channel out as well. She does watch parties, hangout streams, and talks about news stuff.
And you never know when her next campaign is going to be. Is she going to be president?
Yes. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe she'll run up for mayor
I am
again.
too broke for that shit. That is expensive proposition right there.
Yeah, I figured. I just enjoyed that time you were trying.
Like,
you never know.
It was $2,000 just to get on the ballot.
Damn.
Yeah, I know, bastards.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It is.
But don't forget to check out my gaming channel. as well. I usually stream on the weekends because I'm busy with everything else during the week and stuff like that. It's like a never ending list. Let me bring up the link real quick. There's my gaming channel right there. You check me out. Where I usually play on the weekends, but sometimes I'll do like one impromptu gaming stream, stuff once in a while. But yeah, check me out there. I recently played Fortnite with Be Yourself Avengers and Anime Night and Trickster and the name escapes me for a moment. Oh yes, and Captain Robert April as well. So yeah, check my gaming stream out. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for guys for coming. I'm not sure what's gonna go on for next week, but oh, that reminds me, for tomorrow, which is on a Thursday, I'll be doing a watch party of the Muppets, the 1979 version of the Muppets tomorrow.
Nice. Oh, great. Okay, did my live stream encourage you?
Yes.
For that, that's amazing. Speaking of my Friday show, on this Friday, we're finally covering Star Wars.
Oh,
1977. No New Hope. Well, I guess we'll talk about the New Hope, but we're covering the original theatrical.
Nice. Do you want to be there for the watch party for tomorrow, Jill? If just let me know if you want to.
It depends if I finish prepping for Star Wars. It's a big one. I'll let you know.
All right, I'm thinking around either 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Central Time for the watch party, somewhere between there. I'll let you guys know when I have more concrete time schedule with that. And Jill, like if you need me on the Star Wars New Hope panel, I would love to join if you have me.
Oh yeah, definitely. I will. I'm trying to put together a list. I you know how I usually just send the link out everywhere. We'll see what happens. Yes.
All right.
And so if you
Sounds
see the
good.
link on Friday in a Twitter group, consider that your invitation.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for everyone for being here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, click that notification bell, and click that subscribe button. And also check out these awesome folks' channels as well. Not just me, because we're a team, we're a part of the community, we're all friends here. And you guys stay awesome, and I'll catch you guys later. Meow meow. Meow meow. Meow meow. If this is your first time being here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RaquelSSG2211. Catch you later.